Hi.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So this is, Steffi, and the rest you can tell yourself. Who are you?
I'm
Just said your name.
Felix guest.
Felix
Guest host today.
Thank you. We're doing in this course, what we're doing is we're teaching slang. So to make it more authentic, we brought on a Steffi.
Hi, everyone.
And a cat. We'll pick him up in a second. You can enjoy this.
Oh,
there we go. Okay, so this course will be
start
of the night. Yeah, so this course will be slang. We'll start easy, then we'll go more and more difficult. We'll also categorize the course. So we'll start with like numbers. So that basically means that you just have to know the numbers to know these slang expressions. Then we'll move on to actually there's so many words for this guy. Not actually for the equivalent for the female gender, but there's a lot. So we'll do a whole segment for that, and then we'll move on to titles. We'll have a few swear words and some above 18 words as well. And there's a lot to look forward to. All in all, I think. I think we're ready to start. Are you ready?
Yes.
做好准备了，好了，可以了。Hello there, my name is Felix and I'm the founder of Domino Chinese. Now, you probably know me already if you've studied any of my previous courses. Now, just a quick little tip for you is to go to class info where you can see, I think it's projects and resources. In that, you have many different links. Links to different courses here on Skillshare. Also, there's a link to different material that you should download in order to give yourself the best conditions to learn Chinese now and to study this course. There's also a link to a free month with full access on our website. You can sign up now and make sure that you do that, and you can use the coupon code later on. But just make sure that you sign up now and you can enjoy the free month with full access later on. That's all I had to say in this video. Just make sure that you go to class info and click all the links there, and I'm sure you'll be very happy. Bye for now. So we're going to start this slang course with numbers, okay? There's a lot of numbers in Chinese that can be used for slang. The reason for that being that sound the same as a number, also sound the same as something else, which usually means something either good or bad. So they've started using numbers just simply as slang then. We can start with this one, I think.
2333 2333.
Do you want to tell them the story behind it?
Oh, it's interesting because it actually was a code for emoji on the popular Chinese forum called 猫扑网. So people use that to represent the code, represent the emoji that is laughing out loud and laughing really hard. So it's kind of an equivalent of LOL in English. And the more three you use, the louder you're laughing. So simple as that.
Thank you. So you can write 233.
Yeah.
But you can also write, that's the shortest one, yeah?
Yeah, that's like the shortest.
And the longest you can write is?
Like 33s.
33s. Is that a limit? What if you write 31?
Maybe just the size of your screen, I guess.
The size of your screen is the limit.
Yes.
Yeah, so not the sky, just the size of your screen is the limit.
Yes.
That's 233. Start using it, guys. Don't write ha ha in Chinese, just write 233.
Don't write ha ha. Do you know what this means when I do this with my hand?
It means very good.
Yeah, why, how?
How and why? Because this is pronounced liu, like 6, number 6, and this is, by the way, if you don't know the numbers, in Chinese it's super good because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have liu, and then you just show the numbers up to 10 on one finger.
6.
One finger. Yeah, and so number 6 is this, and it sounds like what?
六, another character 六.
Which is like smooth.
Smooth,
yeah?
Yes.
Which means smooth. So, again now, smooth is something very auspicious, it's something very good.
Yes.
And you don't want to say it once, you want to say it...
At least 3 times?
At least 3 times. So, liu liu liu. You can say it's liu 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 to someone, and that means...
Smooth.
Smooth, but it doesn't really mean smooth. It means with the number
awesome.
6. Yeah. So if I say liu liu liu, or if I write liu liu liu, or I do like this and say liu 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 to someone, it means you're awesome.
You're awesome.
So this is actually the first time that Steffi helps me record, and you've never been on camera really before.
Not really.
So I would say, and you should say as well, you should all comment now and say, if you think she is liu liu liu, she is
Thank you.
liu liu liu. I think you are liu liu liu. Not this, liu liu liu. Or you can do like this. This is
okay.
Double liu. Liu 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 liu.
Liu.
But like a
heart shape. The next one is 爸爸. This is an easy one because it means bye-bye. It basically sounds like bye-bye. So we usually use it on internet or use it on your mobile phone, and to your friend, you want to say bye-bye, you can just type in bye-bye. It's easier.
Just 88.
Yes. 88.
So you are 666 and I will 88 you now.
Oh.
That was a very short video, guys. But it doesn't mean it's less useful, nevertheless.
Very useful.
So 88 and we'll see you in the next video.
88. Bye-bye.
88 would be baba like this, but that's not actually a thing they do. Okay, and the next word now is
520.
谢谢.
Yes, it means 我爱你.
Why we're saying this is because 我爱你 means what?
我爱你.
So it sounds, if I say the slang and you say the proper one,
我爱你.
五二零. So yeah, 五二零 sounds very similar, as in number 5, 0 and 2 sound similar to, say it again.
我爱你.
谢谢. 我也五二零.
I just said I love you.
Thank you. So that's it, guys. You can actually type that. It's a bit lazy, but it's still slang and it works.
Yes, very useful in dating.
Yeah, 五二零. It's very silly, I think. You would just type, if you want to love someone, you just type, I love you. You don't go, number.
Yeah, it makes the 20th of May a festival, like a special day.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
To buy a present.
Yeah, because many days fall on the numbers of like good things or bad things. So in this case, you have 五二零, which is May the
20th.
The 20th, 五二零. And yeah, so in this case, you have, what happens on May the 20th?
Buy a present, buy a rose, take her to the cinema.
Make sure you do all of those things and you'll keep her happy.
Just kidding.
It's not a joke. 五二零, we'll see you in the next video.
So now in this video, we're going to talk about the word 250. Which is 250, but it means like idiot or a moron or a crazy person.
Okay, so let's just stick to, it has something to do with 1,000, and then you divide that up because it's not fully adequate, so it's 500 instead, and then that's the old term for it, but nowadays it's just half of that because it's not even that smart anymore. So we've made it half of half, so that's 250. Very reduced. So yeah, 250. And when should you use it, and how should you use it?
You used to describe a person like 这个人真是个250.
这个人真是一个250. He is truly a 250.
Yes.
So 250.
So 250. So now we're going to talk about a very commonly used word 二 too. But it means, in this case, it means being stupid or being silly, being funny, or being ridiculous in a cute way. You can be 二 together with your buddies. And that's a good memory.
Like this?
Yes.
不要这么二.
Yes.
Don't be such a 2. I think it has to do with, because number 1 is the best, comes first, and then number 2 is just sort of second place, a bit silly and stupid.
Yes, don't care.
So number 2, you can just call someone, what would you, yeah.
很二.
很二.
你这个人很二.
这个人真二. And also note here, guys, whenever we go through an example and it's an adjective, you can say 你很二 or 你非常二. Any adverb like very or extremely or anything like that you can think of. 你太二了, you can also say.
Yes.
But you can also say, which we do all the time here, we say 你这个人很二. Okay? 你这个人很二. This person, literally then. You, this person, so 二. Yes. But that's something super common. So we had in the previous video, we had like, for instance, you are so 六六六.
Yes.
你这个人六六六. 你这个人很二. So that's how you say something. And it's very common, yeah? To say 你这个人很 something like that.
对.
Fantastic.
That's what you say.
Wonderful. So yeah, 二 is not that good. It's cute. So this one, we've searched for it a little bit. It's difficult to find, but it's basically not number 1. It's not number 2, but it's somewhere not 3 and not 4 either. So the meaning is actually dubious or shady. And what is it then in Chinese?
不三不四.
不三不四. And that means literally...
No 3, no 4.
No 3, no 4. So you're not, because we've just talked about, well, number 1 obviously means you're good. That would be like 六六六. Number 2 means you're a bit silly or stupid. Yes. Number 3 or 4 now, like you're dubious and shady. You're somewhere there in the background. That's how I imagine it as well, at least. We can say 你这个人, like we talked about in the last video. Whenever you describe someone, you say, wow.
你这个人不三不四.
不三不四. I love this word. It's wonderful.
Yes. You can also say 你穿的不三不四.
Oh, yeah. So
dressed up like shady.
Shady, not properly enough.
Yeah.
Perfect. 非常好. Hello there, and we're back. New clothes and new day, actually.
New day.
So we'll be doing titles now. Very exciting indeed. What you can call people, names you can call people, polite things you can call people, and such and such. So we can start, and by the way, you'll notice here that we have a lot of 大 and 小, as in big and small. We work with a lot with that in Chinese here. So do you want to go ahead and do the first word then?
Well, first we'll talk about the word 老大,
老大,
which means this. The number one, the alpha.
One. The alpha one in the group. Yes, there's always a 老大. What's the difference between 老大 and 老板?
老板 is more like the boss. Like in a business, he's the one who pays all the salaries. He owns the business, but it's more like business related. But 老大, it doesn't have to be business related. It could be in an organization or just like something informal.
So that's 老大. Yeah, so just in this video, Felix is the 老大. No, of course. Steffi is the 老大. No. And on this note as well, there's another 大. If we put two 大's together, we get what?
We get 大大, like we say 习大大, which is our Xi Jinping, our president, which is the biggest 老大in the country.
Or like the alpha amongst alphas.
Amongst alphas.
习大大. Yes. Hello, 习大大, if you're watching.
Hi.
Did
I'm your fan.
We're very big. Yeah, we're fans. 我们都是你的粉丝啊. Very good. Guys, we have one more word for you. When we do like 老大 or also 习大大, then we can also, like when you talk to your bros, there's another term as well that is really useful.
Yes. 哥们儿.
Bros. So you can say 哥们, yeah?
Not really, that's weird.
That's weird.
It's a bit dry.
But yeah, note here how it's written like 哥们, but then you can also just add you should add a little as well there, which is what they do up here in the north. We're in Shanghai. It's not north and north though. So you say 哥们儿. 哥们儿. Yes. Like bro.
Bros.
Literally brothers.
Yes.
Literally. Yeah, it's quite nice. Hey 哥们儿, 要不要去吃东西?
哥们儿抽根烟?
哥们儿抽根烟我不抽谢谢啊哥们儿啊 Fantastic.
Very, very useful.
Very good. So now you can say 老大 or you can say 哥们儿 or if you meet the loudest of the 老大 then you can say 习大大.
习大大.
Okay, next video guys we'll start so now we're with 大 and the next video we'll go video some with 小 as well. Yes. And I hope you find that exciting. In this video guys we have 3 words for you and not with 大. In this case it's actually going to be
小.
小.
The other end.
Yeah, the other end of the spectrum. Please.
The first one is 小弟, which means on the contrary to 老大, which is the bigger brother. This is the smaller brother in the group. Yes.
Yeah, so you could literally be your younger brother as well.
Yeah, it could literally be your brother, but it doesn't have to be your actual brother.
Yeah. Just someone someone who's a bit tiny. Yeah, I think you get it.
Yeah.
小弟. Informal little brother as well. Then we can move on and say 小姐. Okay.
小姐, it actually it means miss. Like we can Miss Chen, Miss Wang, or Miss something. You can call someone 小姐, but
always a but here. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we developed another meaning for the 小姐, which
very
is
unfortunate.
It's what you call a prostitute or someone an escort. So maybe be careful when you call someone 小姐 in China because some ladies, some women, they do mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be careful.
What should you call them instead then? You think?
You can call them 美女 ah.
I would
it's
say
always
美女
good
as well.
to compliment them.
Yeah, and if they're a bit too old, you can say 阿姨, I think.
Yeah, 阿姨.
So
女士.
女士 as well is quite nice, yeah, actually. So yeah, 女士 works for everything, and then 美女 if they're quite young, and 阿姨 if they're old enough. But I always feel a bit awkward about saying 阿姨 because I'm like, are you old enough to say this? Will I insult you? I just go with 美女 either way, and they're like, oh, but I'm old. They say, no, you are my 美女.
Yes,
you're a 美女 to
always
me.
Beautiful.
Anyway, so the 小姐 here, many of our students also ask us, or say they think that you cannot use 小姐, but yes, you very much can. However, yeah, be a bit cautious about it. Because yes, it could also mean prostitute, and that's why it's in this course, and it means slang for prostitute. Enough about that. Lastly, we have another one. 小子.
小子 is like a young bloke. Like a kid or a teenager, you can call them 小子.
A 小子. So yeah, if you're taking our course, you'll notice that if you put 字 at the end of something, it can make anything into a noun, even though it might not be a noun to start with. So we can, for instance, say, 你觉得我胖吗?
你是个胖子.
Oh, there we go. So 胖 adjective, but 胖子 fatso.
Yeah.
你是个胖子. So we can do the same thing with 小你很小你很胖你是一个胖子你是一个
小子.
Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that video thoroughly. Okay, in this video now we're going to go through strong people, or like not like independent and independent people simply.
Yes.
What is it?
汉子.
汉子.
It's like a strong man. You're a real man.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this Han is just the Han from Hanyu, or Chinese people, like the Han Chinese people. Somehow they came to be like the epitome of strong people. Okay?
Yes.
So then you say, if you just say 汉子, what does that mean?
That's a strong man, a
Strong
real
man.
man.
So it's weird because if you just refer to a man, you don't have to say anything. You just say 汉子.
Yeah, very masculine man.
Very masculine man.
Yes.
As in, how would you describe a masculine man in Chinese? Or in China, sorry, a masculine Chinese man. What would he do?
Well, he has dignity. He will be physically strong, mentally also very strong and has dignity and very responsible and takes care of his people. That will be a 汉子.
这正是一个汉子. Very good.
Yes.
And the female equivalent would be
女汉子.
女汉子.
Yes. So if you are a 女汉子, then you are very strong and woman and sometimes maybe a bit masculine.
a bit masculine, which is a bit weird, yeah. If you're so independent, please don't get offended here, people who, feminists, I guess, or people who just want equality in the world. When you have, females in Chinese here, in the Chinese language, mind you, which is a language that is not created today, so maybe you change the language up a little bit if it was. Anyways, you have, if a lady is independent enough, then she also becomes somewhat of a man, which is a bit awkward.
A bit sexist.
A bit sexist, yeah. No offense, please, we're just teaching the language.
Yeah, but this is just what people say.
Yeah. So you have 汉子 and 女汉子. Wonderful. 你觉得你自己是一个女汉子吗?
I'm a strong woman, but I don't think I'm masculine.
Okay, so you're not all the way up there.
No.
Not masculine enough.
One thing to bear in mind is when you say 汉子, you don't say 一个汉子 or 一位汉子, you always say 一条汉子.
So you say like 李飞是一个, no.
李飞是一条汉子.
对，李飞是一条汉子.好的, those are two good words for you.
Yes.
Now, this next term is something, originally it was used towards your lover or the one you love, which would be 亲爱的.
亲爱的.
So love basically, or dear.
Dear or darling. Yeah, 亲爱的.
But then, do you know the story why?
Yeah, I know it actually came from the popular shopping site Taobao. So when the customer service staff talk to their clients on Taobao, they always start with 亲爱的. 亲爱的,你买的东西到了没啊? 亲爱的,请你付一下款. But later on, people just start saying it in a short way, 亲. So we say 亲 everywhere. 亲.
And I have my own personal connection with this because I think, or association with this, I think it's so annoying because I usually contact them because I'm annoyed about something. Like, why haven't it arrived yet? 怎么还没到哎? And they're like, 亲,你等一下啊, 亲.
Oh, that makes me a little bit happier.
Do you feel like it makes you happy?
Yeah, it's nice. It's polite.
I feel like it's arrogant. So if you feel the same thing that I do, please don't feel like that's their intention.
No, they're being friendly.
They're trying to be as friendly as possible, yeah. So yeah, 亲 is something you hear all the time. You can write it to your friends as well. 亲, do this. 亲, do you want to go ahead and do this?
It's so popular now.
Very popular. Okay, in this video we're going to learn different terms for people like you.
A girl.
So yeah, we'll start with, do you want to go with this one?
The first one is 辣妹, which means a hot girl.
Hot girl.
Very attractive, very hot.
It's funny because 辣 means hot.
Yes.
As in, if you eat something, it's very spicy.
Spicy.
So just like in English, where you call something hot as in it's spicy, you can also call people hot as in not just spicy, but actually
a hot chick.
Hot chick.
A hot guy.
Yeah. And the Mei just comes from little sister.
Yes.
Because, it's usually, Mei just sounds more like she's, I don't know, younger.
Like a young girl,
I guess.
Yeah. Young female.
And Jie from, like, if you use the Jie instead, would be like, oh, she's a bit wiser than that. That's not too sexy.
It's sexy these days.
It is quite, yeah. Anyways, that's sort of how the word came about, why it's Mei and not Jie, if you ever wondered that. Yeah. Now, I think we can move on and go with Zheng now as well.
Zheng is also, like, really good looking, like, really, she's decent.
Zheng. So Zheng being like accurate or correct or formal. Yeah. So Zheng Mei, you can say. That's a good term as well, actually. Very good term.
Attractive girl.
And the third term is just because we like to use English, or at least English words, or in some case just letters. So in this case we just write MM. Not the M&Ms that you can eat, but MM that you can think are attractive. So these are, why is this?
Yeah, it means Mei Mei, like a beautiful girl, and it's short for a beautiful girl, MM. Mei Mei.
MM. But it's not younger sister. It's not Mei Mei.
No, it's not Mei Mei, it's Mei Mei.
So the first Mei is beautiful, and the second Mei is
eyebrow.
There we go.
So beautiful eyebrow is like a beautiful woman, beautiful girl.
So it's actually quite funny because you have like for woman, you can use 3 terms in Chinese, 3 characters that all start with M. And Mei, Mei, Mei. You have Mei as in little sister.
Yes.
You have Mei as in beautiful.
Yes.
You have Mei as in
eyebrow
as well. So just pay attention to that. So if you say call someone Mei, then you don't even have to know the tone. You'll be accurate anyways.
Yes.
You'll get something right. Yeah. Fantastic. So then you can say MM, or you can say the other ones too.
辣妹 or 正妹.
Good luck and enjoy those ones. Hopefully you get called, either one of them, because they're all pretty and beautiful.
Yes.
Hello guys, and welcome back. This part of our slang course, which we hope you're enjoying thoroughly, is just called swear words, but not just swear words. It's called
cute swear words, which you can use them in a cute way.
Exactly. So they're not really called swear words, cute ones, yeah. Exactly. So first of all, we'll take words that end with a very common one, which is egg.
Dan.
We can start with that, actually, yeah. Dan just means egg, but it's also something cute to call an idiot.
Yeah, someone a fool.
So first of all, we can just call someone ben, and that just means stupid, no?
Yeah, stupid or silly.
Like 你很笨.
Yeah.
Ah, 你很笨. But that's cute, actually. There's other terms to just say, like, you're intellectually disabled.
Not very bright.
Yeah, not very bright. There's other terms for that. Therefore, if you just say bun, it's quite cute. But that's barely even slang anymore. We have ben dan now. That's quite interesting.
Ben dan is like a noun to describe a person who is like a fool, idiot, but in a kind of cute way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's quite funny here because ben is an adjective. And do you remember, if you've taken our course, you've learned that we have 字 in Chinese, which very often makes adjectives into nouns. For instance, if you say 小, it's little. If you say 胖, it's fat. And if you say 字 at the end, it just means a fatso or a small person, a little teenager or something. Now, if you want to make that into a more slang term, you can put a dan instead of the 字. So instead of ben, which is an adjective, you can say 你很笨 or 你是一个
笨蛋.
Wonderful. So take the dan instead and make things into nouns. Okay? And we'll continue with that. We have 坏, like 你很坏. And that means you're broken, but no, it more means
bad.
Bad. Like evil, bad. You're bad, bad, bad. So then we can say 你很坏, but you can also say 你是一个
坏蛋.
坏蛋. And that's cute, no?
Yeah, sometimes. Depends on how you use it, but it could be cute.
When was the last time you used the word 坏蛋?
Maybe to my ex-boyfriend. 你是一个坏蛋.
你是一个坏蛋. And lastly, guys, with the dan, we have this term, which is
王八蛋. That will probably be a bigger bad person.
Bigger, badder person.
A bigger bad person.
It's still quite cute, though.
Could be, sometimes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still quite cute. What would it literally be? King
8 egg.
King 8 eggs. Do you have any idea why?
No idea.
Me neither. Let's just ignore it.
Yeah.
And not trying to explain that. 王八蛋 is quite funny, actually.
Yeah. My auntie calls her son 王八蛋 sometimes. 小王八蛋.
小王八蛋. That's good. Okay, so we're doing slang here, and cute slang that is, or cute swear words. And we've just done dan in the previous video. Now in this video, we're going to go ahead and do
猪头.
Yeah, so 猪头 is what?
Pig head.
Pig head, literally. A very cute term. You can imagine this is not offensive in any way. You can just call someone, 你这个猪头. 你这个猪头. And you'll notice now as well, we have about 3 terms in total with the 头 at the end.
Yeah.
So 头, just your head, just means that you're you idiot, you silly one.
Yeah.
Silly head. Yeah, silly head, yeah, we go. Silly head works in English.
Yeah.
So 你个猪, can you say 你个猪头?
你这个猪头. Yes.
你这个猪头.
Yes.
Fantastic. Moving on, we can say, and this is actually one of my favorites, one of the first ones that I learned, and it's quite easy as well.
你个头.
你个头. 你个头. So we skip the 你是一个头. It's just an abbreviation form for that. It's like 你个头. Note that Chinese does that a lot. If there's an adjective, you can just say, or if there's a noun, you can just say 你个, and then you can say whatever it is. This is very colloquial, but it's very common. So 你个头, what does that mean?
Be like, 看你个头啊，平时你看什么看啊？ Or if you tell me something is really awesome, like this movie is great, 这个电影好看，and I don't agree, I'll be like 好看个头，哪里好看？
Yeah. So yeah, you can say 你个头, but you can also start using it like say a statement and then say 个头. Yeah. So that's really useful as well. So either 你个头 or 好看个头。 Or if I give you food, I go like, 哦，这个很好吃，这个很好吃。
好吃你个头啦，一点都不好吃。
但我觉得好吃呀。
哦，好吧。
哦，好吧。Okay, wonderful. So that's how you can use these different terms. So we can put anything and then put 个头 at the end, but we can also put anything and then put 个
屁。
个屁. P is this one here. Yeah, P. And so yeah, do you want to give me an example?
It's like it's similar to what we just said. Like when you say a statement and I don't agree, and I can use that to sort of express that I don't agree. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, 这个电影好浪漫啊，然后 I'll be like 浪漫个屁啊，
浪漫个屁啊。
It's slightly a bit ruder than the previous one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has to do with butt talk, as in bull. Hopefully we can censor that word out. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't agree with someone, it's just say 个头 or 个屁, and they'll be very impressed. Would you be impressed if if a foreigner came up to you and used that word properly?
Only if we are very close friends.
Oh, okay.
Because if we are not, I get slightly offended.
Oh, you get offended?
Yeah.
With the P and the toe?
Yeah, it's like, so you should only use it with someone that you really, trust, or someone who get that, so be careful.
Be careful. Yeah. I don't use these terms a lot. Yeah, just make sure you're careful about these things. Tread the waters lightly.
Yes.
Wonderful. And now we have 靠, which actually means to lean on something, to depend.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that at all in this case.
No.
Here it's 我靠, which is what?
It's sort of to express like wow or something like, it's an exclamation. Yeah.
It's an exclamation.
Yes.
Later on, this part of the course is still cute slang words or cute swear words, but then we have an actual swear word, which is FCK, and that one, that is pronounced ow at the end, so I think this is just a light version of that.
Yeah, it's a light version.
So this one is accepted anyway. Say, oh, 我靠,
Usually it's accepted.
It's like saying bummer, 我靠.
Yes.
Okay. So don't think of it like meaning I lean on something.
No.
It just simply means that. Okay, so that was the first word in this video. The second word is, well, let's see if we can use it to start with. It's oh, you look a bit chubby today, Steffi. Haha.
滚.
滚.
Yes.
滚.
It means piss off.
Literally roll away.
Yes, literally roll away.
Roll.
So.
Yeah. 滚. So it's very funny. Whenever I try to say 滚, as in something rolls away, everyone starts laughing because they can only think of get away or as in the swear word. But it's very cute actually, isn't it?
Sometimes between friends.
Yeah. 你滚.
滚.
So either just 滚 or 你滚. 你滚.
Yeah, you could say that.
I love that. Now the last word in this video is, we mentioned P earlier, which means your butt.
Yeah.
But now it's not, now actually is fart.
Yeah, you could also make fart.
Which is 放屁. So it could mean you 放屁, you fart, but it also means
you're saying bullshit.
You're speaking bullshit. This is just all the B-shit in the world. Yes. Oh, I censored the wrong word there. All the bullsh in the world. Yeah.
Yes.
放屁. 我爸爸认识习大大，你知道吗？
放屁啦，我才不信呢！滚滚滚！
滚. Wonderful. So that was the last word of this video and the last word of this segment of this course as well, which is called cute swear words.
For this section, these cute swear words, just make sure that you only use that with very close friends, because if you use it with strangers or in a business environment, they are not super classy. So just reminder, friendly reminder.
A friendly reminder, that's good. Warm, gentle reminder.
Yes.
I've noticed that when you're ever in a business setting, you never ever use slang of any terms, of any way.
These ones are kind of risky.
And then we even have a list later on with harsh slang. Which when cute slang doesn't even work at business meeting, let's not talk about the harsh slang. Wonderful. See you in the next video. 你滚.
我们滚了.
我们滚了,拜拜. Hello there. This part of the slang course is going to be expressions.
Yes.
And we've divided these expressions up into like daily things or negative or positive little expressions. And we'll just start with the ones we can use in our daily life. Okay? So the first one here would be like, there's an expression which is not slang, which is just 加油.
Yeah.
加油 as in fill up the tank. Add more oil.
Yeah, add oil.
But it literally means that, so you can use it for your car, but it also means come on.
Yes.
But you can also come on, like you shout, you cheer on someone in a slang way, which would be
为什么打 call?
为什么打 call? And what is call? Is that a Chinese word?
No, it's English word. It's like making a phone call.
This could be number 6, but it could also be that you're calling someone.
Yes.
So weird. I sort of hate this word because I don't understand it. You call for someone.
Yeah, which means like you support someone or you speak high of someone. You highly recommend someone or something. Could be something.
So you see, Chinese loves to use English words. We'll have plenty more examples throughout this entire course, and we've already had some. So you have 为 as in for someone, and then you say 为. Let's put in a word here. Let's say Steffi. We all support Steffi. Okay, 我们为 Steffi. 为 Steffi 打 call. So 打 call. So weird. And if you know it already, to make a phone call is 打电话. So they think that 打 call should work. 打电话, they just took the 电话and made that into an English word. And the rest was just the same. But then all of a sudden this became slang for I support you.
Yeah.
你为我打 call 吗？
当然，
当然，好的。
当然，我们都要为他打 call。
对，我们都要为他打 call。
我们都要为他打 call。
And note here that call is like not call, not with a British or an American or any sort of accent. It's just supposed to be call.
Yeah, it means like call.
Call,
Call.
It almost sounds like a Chinese word, but it's
the first, how do you say that? The tone?
First tone, yeah. Call. Yeah, call. So weird. Again, I don't fancy this word too much, but please start using it because it's common, yeah?
Yeah, it's like,
Very
especially on
common.
internet, it's very common.
Very common. So go ahead there and support people.
Yes.
Another thing you can use in your daily life now is 混. 混. So 混 actually means to mix something.
Yes,
把这个跟这个
literally means mix something.
Yeah, 把这两个混在一起. But that's not slang. However, if it's slang, how would we use it then?
I would use it as a verb, as in like messing around, hanging around. For example, like hanging around on the street, like doing nothing, or hanging around in someone's house, at a friend's house. 混在他家.
It's almost like, because Chinese has the word war or one, which is to play. So it sounds a bit awkward to always translate things to like, do you want to come over and play?
Yeah.
And I think in that case, we have our savior here, which is 混. So do you want to come over and 混 a little bit? Okay, yeah. So terms for this could be like, 你混哪儿? Or 你混在哪儿?
我混南京西路.
Oh! 南京
西路 is my hood.
Is your hood. There we go.
That's my area.
So the question would be 你混在哪儿 or 你混哪儿?
Yeah, where do you usually hang out? Where do you usually hang around?
And you would answer with 我
混在 some area.
南京西路 Because my hood is 北路 我混在南京北路 So that's my hood and your hood is 西路
南京西路
We're like two different sides of
南京路
Yeah, 南京路 Very silly. No east side, west side here. Yeah. Wonderful. We just stand on different sides of the seat waving at each other.
Yes.
So that is 混. And using 混 is quite funny as well. We have a little slang term for someone who hangs out a lot.
Yeah, like 混混 or 小混混.
Yeah. So first of all, 混混 would just be someone who hangs out a lot.
Yeah.
So this term has come about and become more like a person who...
Yeah.
What does he do?
Nothing. Just hang around, mess around on the street all day. And, you know, get into troubles.
Get into troubles. Yeah, I think we all know what that means.
Yes.
And there's always one of it in our little neighborhood. So either 混混 or
小混混.
Which one would you use?
小混混.
Yeah, 小混混. Wonderful. So 这个小混混经常会混在这里. He always messes about or hangs about over here.
Yeah.
Very good term. This term is funny, very useful.
Very, very useful.
A bit inexplicable, but let's go for it. So do you remember our date that we booked yesterday? You didn't come, why not?
Oh my god, I forgot completely. I'm so sorry.
Did you let the pigeons go again?
I'm so sorry.
You always let the pigeons go. So annoying!
Oh, next time you can do that to me. I'm sorry.
I'll release all the pigeons next time.
Yes.
Why? We don't know why it's pigeons, but literally then, to release pigeons mean to stand someone up.
Yeah, like bail on someone.
To bail on someone.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Missing appointment.
Yeah. So we have a date, or just going to meet a friend, dinner, anything.
Yeah.
You fang, and then you need to fang whose pigeon?
It could be anyone. It could be me, you, could be 小王.
小王, yeah. So,小王is a little...
放小王鸽子.
Who's 小王?
It's like it just came up.
Oh, it's just a name. I thought everyone knew who 小王was except me. So yeah, let's go with 小王 then. So we would say 放小王, and then you say the, like his pigeons, or just 小王鸽子.
Yeah, 放我鸽子，放你鸽子，放小王鸽子。对不起，昨晚放你鸽子了。
没事啊，你总是这样子的，没事。放 someone's 鸽子, very, very useful.
Yes.
Okay, so in this video, we're going to go through one of my favorites actually, and it's something that is awkward is what?
尴尬。
尴尬. Wonderful, 尴尬. And with awkward now, anything that we do is awkward, but what we do is, in particular now, is that we
are chatting,
which is 聊. So what we do then is we actually take whatever you do. If it's awkward, it's either actually the most common ones are to awkwardly chat or
awkwardly dance.
Awkwardly dance. You can probably picture that in front of you now.
Yes.
So we have first of all, if we talk, then it's you take the 尴尬 and you take the 尬 and then what?
聊。
我们现在在
尬聊。Yeah, I don't know him. Very awkward.
I guess we have to do this. Wonderful. And then if I stand up.
尬舞。
Exactly. So yeah, you get these ones. 我不喜欢尬舞，或者他这个人一直在尬舞。It's very funny actually. Not just 跳舞 or 聊天 anymore. Now it's actually 尬聊 or 尬舞.
Yes.
Very
dance or chat in the awkward way.
In an awkward manner. Yes. Please start using that one and let us know the last time you felt like you saw someone you experienced a little bit of 尬聊 or 尬舞 yourself. Okay guys, in this video we're going to go through something that is quite interesting. It doesn't only exist in our culture, it actually exists very much so in Chinese culture as well.
Yeah.
And literally we use the same word. We use face literally means face, but figuratively it could also mean respect.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do we do then? We say
丢脸.
丢脸. So 丢 means to lose, also like to lose possession of something. Yeah. But in this case it just means you dropped it.丢and then 脸 means your face.
Yes.
So 丢脸, I think this is one of my favorite things about languages, when not just words mean the same, but also they culturally mean the same in a figurative way. That's quite interesting. I love that actually. So we have 丢脸, yeah. So how can you use it in a sentence?
我昨天在我全公司同事面前跌倒了，好丢脸哦。
哎呦，真丢脸啊。So you can just explain something. You can end it with like 很丢脸 or 真丢脸. Yeah. But I realized that this is even more important in China. In Japan, like if you lose a war, you'd even have to do that to yourself. China is closer to that than we are to that. So respect and losing face is something very important in China.
Very important.
Why this is very important. It's not even slang anymore. It's just cultural.
Yeah, definitely.
Cultural terms. Yeah.
Definitely.
Now we can say 脸, but we can also use it as 面.
没面子.
Yeah. So 面 would just be a what is it? Just face.
Also face. 面子.
So a side. We can, if you've learned prepositions, you like 里面, 外面, 左面, 右面. You can use these to say different places. But now we can use it to say
face.
Just your face as well.
It also means face.
So what you said there was
面子.
面子, and that is actually the way to say face.
Yes.
And then we can say 没面子.
没面子, yeah, it's like 丢脸.
Yeah.
Same thing.
我感觉没有面子.
没面子.
Yeah. We can also now, if you want someone to look better,
yes,
be like, you say good things about me, please.
你今天好帅啊！
谢谢。
我觉得你上课上特别好。
你不用给面子的好不好？
特别给面子。
So you either 没面子 or you 丢脸 but you can also just give someone.
Yeah.
As in make them look.
给面子。
Make them look good.
很重要。In our culture.
So 给面子. Wonderful. So we have those 3 terms so far, but there's a 4th term as well that we think you should probably know about at this point then.
It's 厚脸皮.
厚脸皮. So 厚, like thick. And then 脸 we just went through. Face. 皮.
Yeah. Skin.
So thick, face, skin.
Yeah.
As in you're tough, basically.
Yeah, like thick skin in English.
Yeah, thick skin. So you don't let a lot of things disturb you. You don't get affected very easily. don't get disturbed very easily. So yeah, it's difficult. Why were you mentioning this now then?
Because we're talking about face, like how is it important, but some people, they just have thick skin. They're not worried about losing face. Sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it also could mean like someone doesn't know how to behave properly and doesn't worry about upsetting people. So it's kind of related.
Also, what you're noticing here is the expression is 厚脸皮, but what you can do is you can decipher that and you can look at it and say 脸皮很厚. So your 脸皮is in your face here, or your face skin is very whole.
Yes.
It's very thick. So you can just flip it around. So long as you know what part of the word it is, what part of the expression, what is, you can play around with it as much as you want. 你觉得你的脸皮很厚吗？
不算太厚。
不算太厚。
不是很厚。
不是很厚。没事。我还是会给你面子。
我是女孩子嘛，女孩子都很要脸皮的。
女汉子。
女孩子。
哎呀，好吧。Hey guys, and we are going through slang, and not just slang, but like daily slangs, daily expressions that we can use. This one is 灌, what is 灌?
灌 means fill up something with liquid usually.
So you can be like, yeah.
往这个瓶子里灌水.
Yeah, so fill up water in this, or you can also fill up alcohol in this glass.
You can also fill up alcohol with a person.
Yeah, so if you get someone drunk, you can say 灌醉. 醉 as in, I gotten drunk. So then you can either say
谁把谁灌醉或者谁被谁灌醉.
Okay, so what we want to do here is if we get someone drunk, we need to use the 把. That's super useful here. It's the most common one here.
Yeah.
So we would say Felix 把 Steffi 灌醉, for instance. That's how we can use it like that. Or 不要把我灌醉. That's wonderful. Now, if you've gotten drunk by someone, your friends, for instance, how would you say that?
昨天晚上我被我朋友灌醉了.
Yes, so you say 我被 someone 灌醉了. 我被 Steffi, Felix 被 Steffi 灌醉了. He got so drunk by her, or of her, on her accord, on her initiative. She got drunk. She got him drunk. Fantastic. So that's 灌醉, as in to fill up and then getting drunk. Very nice expression, especially if you're hanging out at a bar. Okay, guys, if you've heard of the term 牛仔, which is cowboy.
Yeah.
仔 means a bloke, correct?
Bloke.
And so this term now is what?
狗仔.
狗仔. Like literally then dog bloke. Dog bloke. It's quite weird, but this is a paparazzi. Like dogs can be a bit almost like a paparazzi.
Following people.
Yeah. Following people, don't care for their own in their own integrity.
Yeah.
In that case, Chinese has just come up with a wonderful word, which is
狗仔.
狗仔. If there's a lot of them, you can say 对 as well.
狗仔队, a team of 狗仔.
So yeah, there's a 狗仔队 that's following Li Fei and Steffi. Of course, is so successful. And
Celebrities.
Everyone wants to talk to us. 狗仔队. That's a very good word, and it just means paparazzi. Now, to say cockroach in Chinese, we say 蟑螂. But that's quite a difficult word to know, and it's only used when you say cockroach, both of those characters almost. So instead, there's another term which I find particularly useful, which is
小强.
小强. So little, strong.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And
it's a name.
And you know the story behind this. You just told me the story behind this.
Yeah,
actually.
it came from like the Zhou Xingchi movies. If you guys know Zhou Xingchi, he's a very, very famous Hong Kong movie star, and his movies are very influential in the 90s. And in one of the movies, there was this cockroach, and he named the cockroach Xiao Qiang. And it became really famous, so everybody started calling cockroaches 小强. It's like a cute nickname for cockroaches.
Exactly. You'll notice that I guess in many countries you have slang coming up from movies and TV shows, but particularly so in Chinese. I feel like they just listen to what celebrities say and they go, okay, that's slang then. Let's make that into a popular contemporary term.
Yeah.
So yeah, 小强, small, strong, and everyone knows what it means, yeah?
Yeah. 小强 is like a name, like 小明, 小美, 小王, 小强.
Yeah.
It's a name.
It's a name, but in this case, everyone understands that it's a cockroach.
Like young people knows that.
Young people. Yeah. Wonderful. So it's either 蟑螂 or it's 小强.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, so we have a good term for you here. If you don't know how to play with something, we don't know which word to use, like to fiddle with something, then what should you do?
盘它.
盘它.
Yeah.
盘 just means a tray.
Yeah,
or
plate as a noun.
Yeah, or like a plate, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of a pan or 盘子, or you can use it as a measure word as well. So you could just say 一盘, 给我一盘. But now, 盘 is also a verb.
A verb.
So who could you play with here?
I could play with a cat.
The cat?
Yeah, I could play with the camera.
So you would then say
盘这只猫或者盘这个相机.
Yeah. So 盘这只猫 which is quite easy to understand. What would you do if you 盘 with a 相机?
I just play around with it, try the functions,
So
buy accessories.
Good. So that's play around or fiddle with.
Yeah.
If you play around or not fiddle around with the cat, but if you play around with the cat, it would be 盘. You can 盘 with a person.
Yeah.
And when would
mess
that be?
with the person. It would be like,
there we go, mess, yeah.
For example, if Felix make me angry and I'm gonna, cause him trouble, put him into trouble or bad situations, I'll be like, 盘他.
盘他, yeah. 不要盘我, 千万不要盘我呀. Wonderful. So those are different words that we can use together. Those are different times or occasions where we can use 盘. But 盘 is super easy to remember because it's just a tray. I know you play around with a plate, I guess. And that's how you can interpret it to be to play around with or to mess with. So either with a cat or with a camera to fiddle or just with someone, that means to mess around.
Yeah.
Very useful, actually. Okay, guys, so if you follow fashion in Chinese, or in China, yeah, in Chinese you would say
赶时髦.
Yeah, so we can start by breaking it down and saying 时髦, which would be
fashion
or fashionable. So we can say, oh, wow, 你穿得很
时髦.
很时髦.
谢谢.
很时髦. It could be translated to a noun, but most of the time it's just an adjective. Yeah, 很时髦. But now what we're doing is we 赶, and 赶 means what?
Chase.
Yeah.
Or follow.
To
follow
chase.
the fashion.
Yeah. Hopefully you know the word chase already, as in 赶, because it means a lot of things. 赶时间, 我赶时间. I'm hurried on time, as in I'm short on time.
Yeah. 赶飞机.
赶飞机, like I need to run on the road because I need to catch the plane. So whenever you say catch, you add 赶. But now you can say 赶 with 时髦 as well.
Yeah, 赶时髦 means chasing the fashion.
Yeah, I follow the trends, which you can clearly tell here. Yeah, 赶时髦. 你觉得你自己会赶时髦吗？
还可以吧。
还可以，我觉得也可以啊。
谢谢。
你觉得我会赶时髦吗？
特别时髦。
特别赶时髦，特别时髦，是吧？谢谢。Okay, guys, this is one of my favorite parts of the slang course. We have food now. There's 3 in particular, particularly useful little terms that we have here. I find it very innovative how the Chinese came about these words. Anyways, we have either soy sauce or vinegar or tofu, and those mean very different things. So we start with 打酱油.
打酱油 basically means like this is not my business.
None of my business.
Yeah, I'm just here to as a like passerby. Or,
yeah. I'm not trespassing, I'm just walking by. Bye-bye.
I'm just walking by, it's not my business.
So I think it came about when, again, on a TV show, someone walked into the set and then they asked us, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, I'm just adding soy sauce here. Don't care for me.
It was a street interview. It was a street interview. And then the reporters were asking questions with, people on the street, and then one of this guy, when they asked him questions, he was just like, oh, I don't know, I'm just like, just getting some soy sauce. So this is not my business.
Again, and the Chinese people were looking at that and they went, oh, that's Chinese slang.
Became like a meme or something.
Yeah, 打酱油. So that's wonderful. So you can say 我是打酱油的.
对，我是打酱油的.
我是打酱油 or 我只是打酱油的.
或者我来打酱油.
Yeah, I'm just here to not do anything at all. Fantastic. Now we have that, and we also have 吃醋. I love that one. Now, the next 2 ones are going to be with eat. 吃醋 is in to eat vinegar. You can imagine the face when you eat vinegar. Sour. So 吃醋, and that's also the face that you pull whenever someone.
You're jealous.
You're jealous, yeah. Well, I'm always jealous because then any time Steffi talks to a guy, it feels like I'm eating vinegar.
Not a good feeling.
Not a good feeling. Okay, so 我的女朋友经常会吃醋，是吧？
对。
或者男朋友。
Get jealous.
Yeah. Get jealous. Fantastic. Now that's jealous. So 不要吃醋，不要吃醋，千万不要吃醋。最后一个 what's the last one?
吃豆腐。
吃豆腐 wonderful term.
Eat tofu.
Yeah, to eat tofu. And it's okay, so tofu, you have to think of tofu first as in like soft sort of innocent, and it's easy to play around with.
Yeah.
And that, please don't get offended, it's also how you can think of women if you harass them, sort of. Again, I don't want to offend anyone at all.
Young female.
Young females. Okay, so innocent, naive girls, I guess. Yeah. So what you do then is you say, eat someone's tofu.
Yeah.
And that means...
take advantage of someone.
Exactly. So this is not a very good one at all.
Yeah.
Please never have to use this one. So yeah, you have to 吃, let's not eat yours, let's 吃他的 tofu, and then this is just an anonymous person. 我吃他的 tofu, what does that mean?
I take advantage of him or her.
Or of him or her, exactly. It's usually in a sexual way as well, isn't it?
Usually, yeah.
So yeah, a bit awkward. Anyways, and that's why we finished with that one, because nothing fun on that note. So what we have is, we have 3 terms here in this video. We have either 打酱油, to not have anything to do with this.
Yeah.
吃醋.
Getting jealous.
Yeah, and we have
吃豆腐.
吃豆腐, which is, let's not even translate that one. Fantastic. Those are 3 terms that I think, well, 2 at least are very useful. Hello there, and hello there, and hello camera 2 as well. Let's not ignore you. So this part is slang, and this part of the slang course is
tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. So things that can get you places in life, basically, if you know some of these words. They're good ones on the street as well. You can call them like street Chinese, I guess. Starting with, if I'm rich, you would like to, obviously...
抱大腿.
抱大腿. So 腿 would just mean leg, but 大腿is this section.
Thigh.
The thigh.
Thighs.
So you want to hug my thigh.
Yeah.
Which is what?
Which means like basically piggyback.
Piggyback.
Like use your resource or power to my benefit.
Exactly. So if I'm rich or if I'm famous, you want to hang around me so you can get some exposure, basically. Yes. So that is 抱大腿. 抱大腿.
抱大腿. Yeah. Hug someone's thigh.
Hug someone's thigh. 你可以说，你这么厉害啊，我要抱大腿。
不用了，不用。
我要抱大腿啊，我也要曝光率啊。Wonderful. Yeah. So that is 抱大腿. Excellent. And using 抱大腿, we also have a second word, which is, again, if I'm your boss, let's say that you're my boss instead. You're my boss. What do I need to do to get
Make
up
me
in
happy.
ranks? Make you happy.
Yeah.
So literally then, 拍马屁 is pai is either to take a photo, but also like slap. To slap or to beat, to slap a little bit. And 马屁 would mean
a horse's bottom.
A horse's bottom. Very, very correct and formally said.
Yes.
So 拍马屁 is to beat the horse's bottom.
Yeah.
But it just means to sock up for or to kiss ass.
Yeah,
okay.
Kiss ass.
So now we have 2 expressions here. We have 抱大腿, or we have what?
拍马屁.
Exactly. And both are used if you want to like rise in ranks, so you want to get some exposure or something like that. Very good. 拍马屁 is so used, by the way, that we just have an abbreviation for it, which is PMP.
PMP. On internet.
Yeah, you can just write PMP and everyone knows what you're talking about. 不要拍马屁. So whenever you compliment someone else is very likely to just say
你别拍马屁啦.
别拍马屁啦. Wonderful. Those are 2 words for you if you feel like you want to, again, rise in the ranks or, suck up to someone. Good luck. Okay, this next video is actually originally, 套路 is the word, and originally it was like a sequence of
movements in like martial arts or like in your dance,
exactly.
Dance routine.
In wushu, actually, yeah.
Wushu.
In Chinese, then, in wushu, like that little martial arts, form. And this then was 套路, but then later on, in the slang term, it actually just means sort of trickery.
Yeah.
Or your foul ways of doing something. Okay, so it's not clean ways, it's dirty ways, basically. So I think you just came up with a very good example of like...
like 你别套路我 use it as a verb.
Yeah, use it as a verb to start with. For instance, if I use you here as, I don't know, we have a model shoot.
Yeah.
And you come over and I say, I'm not going to, what should I say?
Like, I'm not going to pay you, but I'm gonna give you exposure and fame and experience.
I would, guys. Yeah.
And as a model, I'll be like, 你别套路我, I know what you're doing, don't give me that. That's not the right way to do things.
Exactly. So 套路, yeah.
别套路。
Perfect. 套 just means a thing or a way, and 路 means a street or a way as well.
Yeah,
as
routine.
Yeah, so this sort of becomes a routine.
Yeah.
So it can be used as a routine, but also in this case, when it's slang, it means either as a verb or a noun, like trickery. Don't trick me, basically. You can also, so you can say 别套路我, but you can also say, for instance, if you see something and you're about to be tricked by it, I go, no. 这个比如说这个广告是套路的。
都是套路。
都是套路的。And therefore you should not trust this. So yeah, we have another sentence which is 人生 What was it?
人生要多一点真诚，少一点套路。
对。
More sincerity and less trickery.
Less 套路。
Yeah, less
Fantastic. Very good word. I love it. Do you love it?
I love it. I use it all the time.
Just make sure you don't get any 套路。Perfect.
不要套路别人，也不要被别人套路。
对，没错。Steffi， 你知道吗？我是习近平习大大的儿子，知道吗？
别耍我，怎么可能？
就是可能。
我不信。
我也不信，没事。耍 It actually, the character is funny. First time I saw it, I was like, but this is Yao.
It's very similar.
You think so? This is Yao, as in to want. You should probably know about this one. Also the character, if you haven't learned it, go to our course. Not this one, the other course. And then Shra looks like this.
Yeah.
And it means, like I just used it, I said something that was preposterous, and you said what?
You said, it's like 别耍我.
别耍我. Don't
trick me.
Don't trick me.
Don't play with me.
Don't fool me. Yeah, I don't get fooled that easily, basically. Now you can use it to just say if someone's joking, you don't joke with me like this. But you can also do it like to deceive or to cheat someone. So if someone comes up to you and be like, for instance, there's tea ceremonies here in Beijing, especially in Shanghai and Beijing here, where they trick foreigners and they come in and then all of a sudden they take their money by doing different things. And then these people, we can say that they 耍人. So they also cheat and deceive people as well. So you can in that case say 别耍我. Please 千万不要耍我啊. You could say 这个人只会说到不会做到. And that would be like this person can always say things but he can never actually do the things.
Yep, correct.
And that's just a term for this, but that's just a way to explain this in a longer sentence. But there's a word for this as well.
耍嘴皮.
耍嘴皮. So again, 耍 like we just did. 耍 was to fool someone.
Yeah.
But in this case, you fool someone with your
mouth,
which is usually the way you fool someone with anyway.
With your lips.
Yeah, but yeah, your 嘴皮. Actually, 嘴皮 means your lips.
Yeah.
Because it's the lip. Again, Chinese is so easy here because it's just lip. Well, what is it? The mouth. Skin. The mouth skin is just your lips. Okay, so then it's basically like talking slickly to someone or to pay lip service to them. Say things that you will do, but not actually following through with them. Can you give us an example?
他只会耍嘴皮啊，他总是说他能赚很多钱，但是其实不能。
其实不能，并不会赚很多钱。Wonderful. So there we go. That was 耍嘴皮. Wonderful. Okay, so we have another term. Using this 耍, now we're going to teach you one more term. It's the third term in this video. And it's 赖皮. 赖皮 means what?
赖皮 means someone who doesn't keep his commitment. Promise.
Commitment, yeah.
Someone who doesn't follow through.
Yeah. So it's quite similar to the previous term. But for instance, give us an example here.
你明明说好给我买最新的 iPhone 的，你现在又耍赖皮。
So you told me you were going to do it, you definitely did, and now you just don't do it. So sort of like to just be indifferent to things and to just not follow through with it at all. Yeah. And then you want to make this into a verb. So what you just said was not just 赖皮, but you said...
Oh yeah, 耍赖皮. 耍 as a verb.
耍赖皮. Perfect. So now we've made this into a verb, because 赖皮 is not a verb. No. Okay, so let's trace back here. We've got 耍, which just means to deceive someone. Or deceive, sorry. And then we can say 耍嘴皮. Yeah, and what is that?
It means like someone who only talks.
Doesn't do anything, doesn't follow through. And very similar then, but someone who just acts a bit indifferent would be
耍赖皮.
耍赖皮. Fantastic. Quite complicated terms, but I think very useful if you find yourself in that situation. Well, obviously. Wonderful. We just realised this. Once we were creating this course, we didn't realise, but now going through this, there's an entire section here of just like sucking up to your boss, hugging his lap, trickery, to deceive someone, to act shamelessly or indifferent. And these are just negative terms. It's like if you come to China now,
a lot of things to be careful with.
Yes, just and it's quite might be good from a cultural viewpoint to come here and know about these terms, because then you'll be equipped to defend yourself as well. Yeah. Funny and weird. Okay, guys, the term here is to touch a fish or to rob a fish.
Yeah, 摸鱼.
摸鱼. And this actually, by the way, we moved on to jobs now in this video. Yeah. I'm going to cover jobs with a few more words. And yeah, so what's the term here?
It's 摸鱼.
And it means?
It means touch the fish.
But figuratively?
Like being lazy.
Being lazy, exactly.
When we say someone 上班摸鱼 means he's doing something unrelated to work while like in the working environment, exactly. In the workplace. You
can think of it like you're sitting by the river and you're trying to catch fish. It's nothing productive at all. You're just sitting there trying to. It's difficult to do as well. It's not productive particularly. So 摸鱼, yeah. So what you said there was the sample sentence was 上班摸鱼.
上班摸鱼.
这个人上班经常会摸鱼.
对. Being lazy on the job.
Exactly. A wonderful little term. So if you know the word 鱼, which is not too difficult, especially now if you know 摸, which means to pet, to stroke, then you know this word now. 摸鱼. Very good one. To be lazy on the job. Okay, wonderful. And we are on to jobs here, or talking about job terms. And there's another funny one. I think you explained this terrifically just a second ago.
炒鱿鱼. Yes. Do you want me to explain?
Yeah, well, I'll do the literal explanation, or the literal translation would be 炒, fried, and then 鱿鱼 would be a squid. So a fried squid, and that actually now means to be fired. But please tell us why.
So when you stir fry squid, it's gonna roll up, right? If you ever tried heating up squid, it will roll up. So what does it mean being fired? Is because previously, if you work for an employer, for example, if you work in a restaurant and the employer will provide you with accommodations, you will have probably at least a bed, and you will bring your own blanket and clothes and doona and everything, and your all the belongings there. And when you get fired, you have to roll up all your blankets and your doona and with all your belongings, and you have to leave. So basically, this rolling up action is what they were talking about when they talk about stir frying a squid. Yeah. So that's why.
Because it's the same action.
I hope you could understand.
No, I could definitely understand. Yeah, it's the same action. It looks like when you roll up your belongings and you walk away. It looks the same as when you fry a squid. Yep. It's quite interesting and funny. So yeah, watch out for fried squids if you ever want to keep your job. We have another word now. If you don't want to get fired, you'd better not be a inside ghost.
Yes, 内鬼.
内鬼. So that is a mole.
A mole.
Yeah, someone corrupt on the inside.
Yeah.
内鬼. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A ghost from the inside.
Yeah. Yeah. 内鬼. So this is a noun, and you say 他是个内鬼.
或者说我们这里有内鬼。
对，我们这里有内鬼。可以啊，可以啊。Now the last term that we want to teach you is something. First of all, it's useful, and the second one is actually slang. So there's two terms here.
Two terms.
The first one is.
Well, we are going to talk about two terms, but they're same pronunciation. The first one is 税后收入. And in this case, 税 is tax. So 税后 is after tax. 收入 is income. So 税后收入. After tax income. That's pretty straightforward. But there's another 税后收入, and where the 税 means sleep. So income after sleep means like income that you don't have to do anything with, basically passive income, which is really cool when you have passive income.
Yeah. So anything that I do is usually while sleeping. That's when I make the most money. So the 税后收入, fantastic. Passive income. And those are all the job terms that we think are useful and also that are slangy. Now let's go through them again. It's either robbing your fish.
Yeah, 摸鱼.
Which means to be lazy. Or you can 炒鱿鱼, and that would be to
be fired.
Get fired because it looks like you'd wrap up your belongings. Then we have 内鬼, an inside ghost.
Inside ghost.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the last one was
税后收入.
Well, first of all, it's after tax income. And then the second one would be
after sleep income, passive income.
Fantastic. Good luck and enjoy those expressions. Hello there, and welcome back to some online terms. It's slang, but in this case, it's more online terms than Well, every slang term is an online term, but these are especially ones that you can use online. Okay, so first of all, we can say
键盘侠.
键盘侠, and this 键盘 is just your keyboard. And then the 侠
will
is
be like a warrior.
A warrior. So in English you have this term.
Yeah, I think in English we have keyboard warrior. Somebody who attacks other people online.
Yeah.
Hiding behind their screens.
Yeah, a keyboard warrior. I've never heard of that. You just told me that one.
I think so.
Yeah, or it would just be a troll basically, someone who trolls you online, like someone who follows and is an annoying person in the comment section basically. So that is a 键盘侠. Wonderful. Now, you can say that. And the other term that we're going to teach you is, it's quite funny. It has the word fuck in it, but it's not actually impolite or anything like that. Original term was
无话可说.
无话可说. So literally then no speech can say. Or
nothing to talk about, nothing to say.
Exactly, nothing to say. But then they thought that 无话, first of all, 话 or 呵 and fu are very similar sounds in Chinese. They think at least. And so they very much mix them up. And in some provinces, I know that they just say fu instead of hua.
Fujian, Fujian.
Yeah, they say that.
They mix these two pronunciations all the time. And Taiwan.
So like, here's a hua, here's a flower. They would say...
Oh, fa.
Fa. It sounds very silly. Anyway, so now you can sort of understand that they mix up F and H. So in this case, 无话可说 becomes 无话可说. And so it sounds like fuck in the middle. So instead, you've just written 无 fuck, sure.
People do that sometimes online.
So yeah, don't really say it, just write it, and it'll be quite funny, I would say.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Moving on to the next one. So use this one whenever you don't have anything to say. 无 fuck, sure.
As a joke.
As a joke.
Yeah. So the next term we're going to talk about is called 然并卵. It's a short form for a sentence, actually.
Yeah, which is
然而并没有什么卵用.
然而并没有什么卵用. Okay, so 然而, however, 并没有什么. Like it indeed doesn't have any.
Indeed doesn't have any.
卵用
is like bloody use, doesn't have any use.
Yeah. So 用 would be use. You could just say the sentence without 卵, but it's funnier with 卵. 卵 would be actually a penis. Cover that in the penis part of this course. Penis part of this, segment of this course. And then 卵用 would be like, it's like bloody use.
Yeah, like actually doesn't have any use. No. Actually useless, something like that.
It's useless, but it's funny. So this term was so common. 然而并没有什么卵用. 然而并没有什么卵用. So we said it so many times, that's what happened.
So people shortened it. Into 3 characters, 然并卵.
So note here that it's nothing to use. It is useless, is the opposite of useful, as opposed to the previous word that we had, which was nothing to say. So it's like, nothing to talk about here. Now it's nothing to use. Wonderful. So that is also a very, very good one.
Well, the last one we're going to talk about is also a short form for a sentence, and it's called 陈会玩, which stands for 城里人真会玩. 城里人真会玩.
真会玩. And that is city people.
Yeah, knows how to play.
They know how to play. But play in Chinese, if you've come across this word before, you'll probably know that one can mean anything.
Yeah, a lot of things.
Like hang out, or play with a toy, play with your kids. I don't know, to be at a party as well. Many of these things. So it sounds a bit silly when we translate it to English all the time, to play. Do you want to come over and play at my house later today? Anyways, the expression goes, city people can play.
Yeah.
But city people know how to party, basically.
Yeah, know how to,
So let's make that shorter, and again.
陈会玩, 3 characters.
陈会玩. Do you think it's true?
Yeah, in a lot of cases.
Yeah, in a lot of cases. When not 农村人, 农民, they come here.
We have more entertainment here, probably.
In
the city.
So that's probably what they would say as well. Not just that the people can play, but that the city is much more entertaining as such.
Yeah.
And therefore, this is a very common expression. People usually come to these bigger cities to have fun. Simply. Fantastic. So let's walk you through these 4 expressions now. First of all, there's a keyboard warrior, or a troll.
Yeah, 键盘侠.
键盘侠. Wonderful. And when we have, I don't have anything to say.
You say that.
Oh, I don't have anything to say.
无话可说.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I have something to say. 无话可说. Sorry, I made you say that. And then the next one, which is the useless.
然并卵.
然并卵.
然而并没有什么卵用.
And then it's city people or country people, rural people come here and they go, oh.
城里人真会玩。
对，
真会玩。
真会玩，非常好。Okay, guys, this part of the course is if you've got a lot of testosterone, then this part might be good for you. Or if you just want to keep away from any arguments, confrontations, you should use. There are about 3 expressions that we're going to go through. Okay, we start with
撕 verb.
It's a verb, and it means to beef.
Yeah, to fight, to have a beef with someone.
To have a beef, yeah, basically. So we could say or these 2 people.
Yeah, are like 他们在撕，他们又撕了。
Okay, so first of all is 他们在撕, so they are beefing with each other, with one another. The other one was like 他们又撕了, like now they're up with it again. Now they're doing it again. 他们又撕了.
Yeah.
And then what you can say is you can actually say 开撕了, 开撕了, and that would be to start.
Yeah, they start a fight.
Start a fight. Yeah. So it sounds very much, and I have trouble pronouncing this one because I'm so used to saying 开始, and this one sounds like 开始, but it means to start a fight. So basically 开始撕.
对，开始撕。
开始撕 but you can just say 开撕 instead.
对。
So 他们两个又开撕了。
是的。
哎呦。Do you want to say B?
No, I don't want to say B.
I'll say B. Guys, there's B as well. You can either say s or you can add little b at the end, which I've covered in the penis or genital section of the course. It means, the female genital.
Yeah.
And, you get the one that starts with C. And then you can either say s or you can say s.
B.
Ah, you said it.
He made me.
So you say 撕逼了. It means the same thing, no?
Yeah, same thing. Having fight with someone.
Having fight
really
with
violent
someone.
fight.
Very violent fighting. Wonderful. So 撕or 撕逼了. Fantastic. Or don't enjoy. Please don't enjoy these things. Okay, guys, the next word now is going to be 对. 对. What is it?
It means like confront with someone.
Confront with someone.
Confront.
First of all, let's see how to use it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can 怼 someone, 怼你,怼我,怼我老师.
Exactly.
对,怼我爸.
Yeah, 怼我爸. It's excellent.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting because you can say I 怼 someone.
Yeah.
But if you've gone through our course in Chinese, for instance, you've probably noticed that there's a character 对, which is correct. But that also means to face someone. So 妈妈对我说 or 妈妈对我很好. And in this case, you can use 对 as a preposition to say to me, basically. And then use it in the exact same place. And then it means to someone. So, but then you need to add a verb. But however, if you pronounce it like a 对, like 对 instead, you don't need a verb because it's already a verb on its own. It means to confront.
But you put a 心 underneath the 对.
Exactly.
Different character.
So yeah,
it becomes another character.
But it's interesting because the characters are so similar as well.
Yeah.
Here you see 对 and here you see your 对 that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So very similar as well. So yeah, if you look at the character, now that we're not going through characters a lot in this course, but it's quite interesting to look at actually. It's correct and hot. It's basically when you feel like in principle this is not correct, then because your heart is correct, then you should confront someone.
Yeah, because there's like an emotion there. Yeah.
I think it makes all the sense in the world. 你最近有没有怼过人？
好像没有吧，最近还好。
最近还好，我也最近还好。
过年的时候怼了我爸。
怼了你爸？对。我们下一期再聊这个。Okay, this next term is also when you talk about fighting, it's 惹.
It means provoke or annoy someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting because hot, it sounds like hot almost. Hot is 热. So maybe if you get annoyed easily, it's because it's so hot. So you can imagine, I'm so hot, don't provoke me.
Yeah, 是太热了。
太热了，
不要再惹我了。
不要再惹我。
我已经很烦了。
Wonderful. So 惹, just like 怼, like we did in the previous word, both are verbs and both are very useful words, especially as they have to do with fighting, and they're just one character, so very easy to remember. Okay.
Yes.
So 惹, 别惹我, 别惹我.
别惹我，别惹他，脾气不好。
对啊，我这个脾气非常不好，千万别惹我呀啊。 Hello guys, and we've moved through a lot of things with the slang course, and now we're going to go into
the negative part.
Yeah, the negative part.
Slangs.
Yeah, we've noticed many times already that a lot of slang is negative, unfortunately. However, we just made an entire section about this as well. We thought this might be easier. Okay, so we can start with something that is very common online now. You can see a lot of videos are made about this, and what is it?
吐槽.
吐槽. And it means
complaining.
Yeah, but it's also actually the way to say to roast someone. Yeah?
To
roast.
To roast.
To roast a person.
Yeah, 吐槽大会.
Yeah.
There's a famous show.
Yeah, we have the same show, or you have the same show as there's in the West, and as we have in the Western world, where you roast someone.
Yeah.
Today is the big roast of Donald Trump, for instance. Mm-hmm. And then it's 吐槽大会. Exactly.
It's a TV show.
Yeah. So we can use this one as a noun. For instance, we can say
你的吐槽我都听到了。
我都听到了，我知道了。
我知道了。
And another useful thing you can do with 吐槽 would be to complain about someone.
对，我今天真的很想吐槽一下我老板。
真
的太烦了。
你吐槽一下老板吧啊。So don't complain about me anymore. Then in English we have to add the word about. In Chinese you just say 别吐槽我。别吐槽我. Please don't complain about me anymore. I'm doing my best. Excellent. And the 吐, by the way, is to throw up.
Yeah, to spit.
To spit. Oh yeah, to spit or to throw up.
All your complaints.
Yeah, and the 槽 is something that I've never used this word because I barely know how to use it. What it means. It means like a groove.
Like a groove.
Yeah, like that. Or a tro as well, you can call it. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But again, it's not very important like that. But if you want to, you can decipher it like that. However, just remember it as 吐槽 and you're good to go. Now, this next term is useful and very easy to understand, actually. It has two characters that you have hopefully learned, actually. It's 休息的休 and
想要的想.
Yes. So it's to rest and then
rest your thoughts. Something. Quit your thoughts about something.
Yeah. So what it means here is like you said, almost.
Don't even think about something. Like you won't get it.
Yeah. Or like in your dreams, if you say that.
Dreams.
So you say 休想 and then you say what the thing is.
Yeah.
Okay. So for instance, the easiest thing would be like don't think that you could ever walk away. 休想离开离开休想离开 or something else would be like if I come to you and I want money
I'll be like 你休想从我这儿拿到钱
从我这儿拿到钱 So first of all 休想 So you in your thoughts in your dreams you think you can come here and 从我这儿拿到钱 get some money from me
对
我就是以为可以
肯定不行
从你这儿可以拿到钱那不行那好吧那我去那里吧拿点钱啊Anyways, that is 休想 and that means in your dreams.
Well, there's a similar one. It's called 没门儿 which means no way.
So I want money?
没门儿
You just say 没门儿 没门儿 Now it means no way, basically. We can just translate it to no way.
No way.
But then if you already know some Chinese, you might know that. But there's another way to say no way, which is 没办法没办法 But the difference here is 没办法 is I'd like to do it, yeah?
Yeah, but it's impossible to do it.
It's impossible to do it. As opposed to 没门儿 which would just be literally then no gate. As in I'm not giving you any gates. No, it's basically impossible.
Yeah.
No way you can do this.
Yeah, but this one is more like no, I don't want to do it for
no,
you.
没门儿
And you also don't use it in the sentence. You use it independently.
Just on its own.
Yeah, on its own.
So say the sentence and then 没门儿 So 你要跟我去约会吗
没门儿
没门儿没门儿 No way we can go on a date. No way at all. Like literally no doors. No doors. There's actually one over there. Hello guys, and we're moving on with slang and, well, in particular now negative slang, and in very particular we have, or in particular, we have lan, which means like
messy, like rotten.
Yeah, we can call food like lan if it's rotten, but lan could also mean corrupt. First of all, we have 摊子 at the end. What is that?
It's like, I think literally it means a bunch of things, a messy bunch of things, but also in this case, it could mean like a situation.
Yeah, a situation. So if you leave a place and it's just a messy situation that you haven't cleaned up properly, either physically, literally, figuratively, whatever you'd like, it's called a 摊子. So now the idea here is that you don't really say just 摊子, but the
烂摊子.
烂摊子.
You say 烂摊子.
So a rotten situation.
Yeah, like a bad situation, messy situation.
So yeah, you can see in any movie, someone has to clean up the cleaner, and then the cleaner has to come and, what would you say?
收拾烂摊子。
收拾一下，收拾一下 you can use that term when you clean up a table. So like 阿姨可以过来一下收拾一下桌子 but you can also use it to clean up
like a situation.
Like a figurative situation. So now what we're saying is, 过来一下 say it again please.
收拾烂摊子。
收拾烂摊子 Fantastic. So 收拾 is not what you have to say, but 烂摊子 is what you'd have to say.
Oh, yes.
Very good. Okay, now we've got that one. And now there's another one with 烂 as well. There's actually two more, but let's go for the second one first. 烂 and then...
烂醉.
What is that?
It means like wasted.
Wasted.
Really wasted.
So 醉, if you don't know it already, it's drunk.
Drunk.
醉 it's not really slang, but if you say 烂醉, I think it classifies as slang.
Yeah.
And it would be so rottenly...
wasted, drunk.
Yeah, wasted, exactly. As opposed to drunk, we've got the next level of it, which is wasted. Exactly. So 烂醉. Previous was 烂摊子, now it's 烂醉. The last word now is quite interesting, actually, and very easy to understand.
烂好人.
烂好人. So 好人, good person.
Good person.
And then 烂.
Guy. 烂 rotten.
Rotten, good guy. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world to understand. But what does it mean?
Well, it means the person who's a good person, but is too good almost, and it's like doesn't have any principles, doesn't know how to say no. So it's like, like person who's too good.
Yeah, almost like a spineless person.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know how to say no, basically. You probably know one of those, or you might be one of those. Then you can call yourself a 烂好人. It's quite good, actually. Because 好人, you can't just go about and talk to yourself and call yourself a 好人. In that case, you could just go a step further and go, 我是烂好人. And then people would go, oh, he's got some self-distance and humor and he knows Chinese slang.
Yeah.
This guy.
Maybe.
This guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Those are three terms, guys, that we think are particularly helpful if you, first of all, if you learnt the word 烂, but also if you want to describe things with it, I guess.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, one more word we have here for daily life is if anything happens right in front of you, the expression in English would be like right in front of me, and in Chinese it would be
眼皮底下.
And that would literally be 眼皮 would be
eyelid.
Eyelid. So 眼 again. 眼 eye, 皮 your skin.
Yes.
Anything,
very easy to understand.
Yeah, anything with the word skin in it seems to be quite easy to understand. Anything in Chinese should be quite easy to understand, actually. 眼皮, and then it's 底下, which would be
underneath, like underneath my eyes.
Yeah.
Like
眼底下, 底下, yeah. 底下. 底 meaning low and then 下 under. So 底下. 眼皮底下. So if someone steals something in front of you, what would you say?
从我眼皮底下偷走了.
Yeah. So you don't want to say 从, or you can say 在, yeah?
对，在我眼皮下都可以。
从我眼皮底下 or 在我眼皮底下 right here. And then you could say whatever the verb is. Or I don't know, if you have a girlfriend, or if we're together and then someone else walks up right in front of me, he was flirting with my girlfriend. 怎么说？
在我眼皮底下搭讪我女朋友。
Yeah, that's how I feel about that. So beware, guys, even though we're not together. Okay, so that's 眼皮底下. Think of your own little examples or situations where you think you can use the word 眼皮底下, and hit us up. Comment below.
在老板眼皮底下摸鱼.
Oh, that's a good one. 摸鱼, as in to be lazy on the job, but right in front of the 老板.
Right in front of your boss.
Please don't. Hello there, and welcome back to the slang course. Not just slang anymore, now it's an interesting one.
Flirting.
Flirting. So, yes, there's a lot of things that are common in our day-to-day life. Yeah, it's easy to come up with slang terms related to these ones. So flirting is a particularly common one as well. We'll go through a few now. Please enjoy this first one, which is...
放电.
放電, literally then to put on...
To release like electricity. Release your... electricity to someone.
I love this expression. If you think of it, you release your electricity, like let it flow and let them be impressed by you.
Yeah.
So it means?
It means to try to attract someone or to flirt with someone.
Exactly. And you would use it just like it's a mutual activity. So you'd be like, 我跟Steffi
对他放电.
Or it'd be like 我对他放电. Yeah. So yeah, 我跟他放电. or 我对她放电. Let's create an atmosphere here so that she gets attracted to me. Ooh. So okay, give us a long sentence with it.
那边有个帅哥，我要去对他放电。
好的，你去吧。
You're okay with that?
That's okay, I guess. For the sake of this video, not otherwise. 放电. Try and start using that, guys. It's very impressive, I think.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So the previous word was 放电, which is quite a cute and cool word, I think. However, this next one is not that cute anymore. Now it's, what is it?
泡妞.
泡妞. So first of all, we can decipher it and see. 泡 is...
to like soak in something.
To soak. You can use your 泡水 as in to steam water when you want to fill up tea or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so that's 泡, so to soak in it. And the idea is that you soak in what?
In girls.
In girls, unfortunately. So note here that this term is only used for us males.
For male.
The 妞 is what?
A young girl, a chick.
Exactly, a young girl. So you can't really say 妞. You would say, what would you say?
小妞.
小妞. And also adding a little sound.
妞
is common. So this would be a chick, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's quite a useful thing to say, actually. And 妞, and to know that word, 小妞, you can also say. But if we use it now together, as in to with 泡 now, what happens?
Yeah, you kind of play with girls.
You play with girls. You're a player.
Hang out with them.
Yeah. You hang out with them.
Yeah.
You sort of, you're a bit douchey, I would imagine, as well.
Yeah.
You play around with them.
It's a bit negative.
Yeah. So the previous word was 放电, which is quite nice, just to flirt with them, which is very innocent. But 泡妞, if you ever use that, it's quite negative. So don't use that if you're going to do something. Maybe you'd use it to say, oh, my friend here always goes out late and he does that thing where he tries to pick up women. He's really sleazy. Yeah. So that's 泡妞. Please use it humbly. And on that note now, we just had 泡妞, and now we have
把妹.
把妹. 把 could mean many things, but
like
basically... Handle, yeah.
Yeah, or playing with.
Yeah, and then again we have 妹, which we talked about before in the course. 妹, just a girl, basically, a chick, a gal. 把妹 would be...
It's still like hang out with women, play with women.
Yeah, to play with them, so 把妹 or 泡妞, 差不多. Yeah?
Same thing.
And also, it's quite weird that it's quite awkward that these expressions are directed towards women. It's like men can only use these words in that case. It's a bit weird. Okay, so we've got that one, and now we are moving on to a fourth one, which is basically the same thing, but also we get back to innocence now, because this is quite nice, actually.
Yeah, it's nicer. It's not bad. Not a bad thing.
What is it then?
搭讪.
搭讪. Let's look briefly at these two characters, because I like to do that, and I think it's important. 讪 especially is not really used on its own. Would you use 讪 in another word?
Not so much.
Let's not do that then, for your sake and for our sake. And then 搭 sort of means, what does it mean?
Means like connect with something.
Connect with something, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the same 搭 that you use when you can either say 打车 or you can say 搭车.
Yeah.
Means the same thing, to get on. To get on
something.
A taxi or a plane, you can also say, or anything like that.
Yes.
搭飞机. And note here, we need to mention this other slang now, because we're going with 搭. If you say 打, as in to hit it, for instance, you 搭飞机, then you get on the airplane. But if you do it with a hit airplane... Do you want to take over here?
No.
No, okay. If you 打飞机, then it means you hit something, a male thing, and then it shoots out, and then we never talk about that again. Okay? That's a funny one that you just need to know about. It's not a part of this flirting part of this course, but anyways, I think it's necessary. So again, if you say 搭飞机, it just means to take the airplane. If you say 打飞机, it means something completely different. If you keep this same 搭 from before and 搭讪, and now it just means...
means to talk to a stranger or to pick up someone.
Exactly.
Like, pick up someone in the bar or something.
But it's like to flirt as well.
Yeah,
right?
to flirt.
To flirt.
Yeah.
So let's just call that to flirt. So what's the difference between 放电 and 搭讪?
Well, 搭讪 is more like you approach a stranger. But 放电 doesn't have to be stranger. It could be someone you already know.
Just let it spark. But 搭讪 more sort of implies the action of like going up to someone and starting a conversation, striking a conversation with someone new. Fantastic. So those are 4 terms, guys. 放电, and then we can go with 搭讪, that are for flirting. And then the 2 other ones, which are a bit more harsh, are
泡妞和把妹.
Excellent. Fantastic. Please use those wisely. Okay, we're talking about flirting. And so this next word now is naturally when you're flirting but you're already with someone, then you are
It's not good.
then it's not good. Well, first of all, it's not good, but also the word
it's called 外遇.
外遇. So outside, what is it? Literally.
It means like an outside encounter.
Yeah, so 遇 you can use for like 遇到 or 遇见, as in I bumped into, I saw someone.
Yeah.
Okay? And 外遇 would be outside. An outside encounter. But if you have this now, by the way, what does it mean?
It means an affair. Having an affair.
An affair.
Yeah.
So you can say 我的男朋友.
Well, this usually used for marriage.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. So yeah, 我的老公
有外遇了.
有外遇了. So he has it. So what we need to notice here is that he has it. 有外遇. 外遇 is just a noun, but if you want to make it into an action, if you want to put it in a sentence, usually 有外遇.
Yeah.
Excellent. Or not excellent. Please, no excellence. And we're not done yet. Unfortunately, we have a lot of ways to say to have an affair in Chinese here. That was the first one, first out of 4 actually. The next one is quite interesting, to split something. How would you say that?
劈开.
Yeah, 劈开. So you want to split this into 2 parts. How would you say that?
把它劈成2半.
把它劈成2半. Fantastic. 2 parts, 2 halves. Excellent. So you can do that, I don't know, wherever you are, in a fruit store, you want to buy something at your local grocery store or anything. And wonderful. So that P means to split something. And what you can do is you can actually split your legs, and that means to go into a split.
Yeah.
Okay? So like gymnasts would do, go into a split. And what would that be?
That would be cheating. It'd be 劈腿.
劈腿. So it means both things, actually. It's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you use it as a gymnastic sense, in a gymnastic sense, it's completely fine.
Yeah.
For the exact same word, more literally then, just also means, to split your legs to someone.
Yeah, it means
to be
cheating.
in an affair. Yeah, to be cheating. So please only split your legs if you're a gymnast. Otherwise, don't even think about it. Now, we want to sort of look at the difference between 有外遇 and this one, 劈腿.
劈腿. So 有外遇 is like almost always use it for marriage. So you only 有外遇 when you are married. But if you're not married and you're cheating on your partner, you can say 劈腿.
劈腿, exactly. So we'll go through 2 more expressions actually. We're not done just yet. And all of them, except the 有外遇. 外遇 is strictly marriage.
Yeah.
All the other ones are usually just, or they can be used in both cases, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, now the next one is quite interesting actually. If you know the characters, it's very easy. Let's go for it.
脚踏两只船.
脚踏, so you step on.
Yeah, step on 2 boats.
2 boats. You're here with 1 foot and here with 1 foot. And you can tell what this means, yeah?
Yeah, means like, having the relationship with 2 people at the same time.
Yeah. Our boat is really nice, Steffi. But like, I found this boat as well. Look, it's got like new collars and she treats me well. And is this okay, yeah?
你休想没门儿。
没门儿就是 fantastic. I think when we're done with this entire course, your goal and our goal with you should be to try and think of a situation every time we're in a situation. Try and use a slang term, because there's enough to go around, I definitely think. Okay. Now the last one is what?
出轨.
出轨.
It means going out of the track.
Yeah, out of your way. So 轨 would just be rails.
Like rails.
Or tracks, yeah.
Yeah, for train.
You can say, 铁 as in 地铁的铁 as in iron, and 铁轨 would be the railway, rail track. But here you take the 轨, you go out of it. Because the 轨 is your ordinary route, as in your marriage or your girlfriend, boyfriend, where you should be.
This is where you should be.
But if you go out of it, it's 出轨 and it's what?
It's also cheating.
Cheating. So much cheating. This is a verb, however.
This is a verb.
Because 出 means to go out. Okay? So wonderful. Now we actually have 4 different terms to describe cheating. Which one would you say is the most common?
出轨.
Yeah, I'd say
出轨 is
出轨 as well.
probably the most common.
And which one is your favorite?
None of them.
None of them.
So sad.
They're quite sad. I quite enjoyed the
脚踏两只船.
Yes, I quite enjoyed
interesting.
it. Anyways, hopefully you haven't done this. Let us know if you have, guys. Comment below. And let us know which one you find the most interesting as well. We're happy to hear. Hello, guys. Me, Steffi here.
Hi.
And this part of the course is called like exclamations, yeah?
Yes.
So we'll be going through different things here, obviously, that you can exclaim is quite self-explanatory. Words that you will hear here will be like, buzz off. Or it could also be like, if you're so good, go ahead and do it yourself. Or what else do we have? We have like this one, I'm not impressed, or I'm not, I'm not fussed, basically. Expressions like that is what you have to look forward to now.
The first one we want to introduce you is the expression called 不感冒. Well, it's interesting because 感冒 means having a cold. It's like a sickness. But 不感冒 has nothing to do with that. It means indifferent about something or not feeling something.
Exactly, not feeling something. I think that's very funny. Yeah. So you can say, I'm not interested in Felix. 我对 Felix
不感冒.
不感冒. It's quite interesting. The proper way to say 我对他没有兴趣.
我对他没兴趣.
我对他没有兴趣. But now you can also say 我对他不感冒.
不感冒. Or I'm not feeling this movie. Like 我对这个电影不感冒.
Oh yeah, so not just people. 对这个某一件事情不感冒就可以. Okay, and in the previous word, 不感冒, it could be about a person, but it can also be about a movie or something.
Yeah, things.
Now, if these things are not great, then we would say
不咋地.
不咋地. So the D is actually the.
Yeah, but it's like different pronunciation.
Yeah, sometimes in the old days, the was always pronounced like D, but then now it's just the because it's easier. And then 咋, I don't really know what 咋 means. Do you know?
咋 means how, like.
Oh yeah, how? Like
这东西咋弄?
咋弄, as in 怎么 you say 咋 simply. Yeah, sorry, I actually do know that one. 不咋的, as in not how, not how.
Great.
Not great.
Yeah.
Exactly like the expression 不怎么样.
不怎么样, 对.
Yeah, so in this case it's just 不咋的. 不怎么样 if you know that expression.
Yeah.
不咋的.
Same thing.
So we can say, 这个课程不咋的. This course is not that great, is it? 这个视频不咋的. 你觉得这个视频可以吗？
不咋地.
Oh, 不咋地. Sorry. Yeah, so that's how you can use it. You can just express it whenever you want. It's just like the more textbook sample or textbook expression like 不太好. 不太好.
对.
Not that great, simply.
对.
Wonderful. 不咋的. Wonderful. And before we give you more adjectives here, we want to give you like an adverb, which is how good something is, or like a very. And in this case, it's what?
It's like 什么死宝宝了. 死宝宝了.
So this killing the infant, basically going all the way that it kills the infant or something like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean kill. It is, you know that before we can say like 饿死我了. Or 饿死了 or 热死了, like it's so hot.
热死我了. 宝宝 actually is like I'm calling myself 宝宝.
Yeah.
It's like 热死宝宝了 means I'm like too hot.
It's quite
but
cute.
in this case, like I'm a baby. It's cute.
It's quite cute because you're innocent and you're weak, so you can call yourself a baba.
Yeah.
So now the 死, just like we explained there with that, like 饿死了, it doesn't mean to die, it just means so much that you feel like you're about to die. And now the expression could be like, oh, you scared me so much. How would you say that?
吓死宝宝了. 吓死宝宝.
Now we can say 吓死宝宝. We can also say like, I'm so hungry.
饿死宝宝了.
Oh, I'm happy.
开心死宝宝了.
开心死宝宝了. It sounds a bit weird then. We don't. Yeah, happy. I'm so happy. This little kid could die. Yeah, perfect. So those are different ways you can use the something 死宝宝了. Very useful term indeed. Okay, guys, so this next word is what?
It's 离谱.
离谱.
Very common word.
Yeah. Preposterous or what?
Oh, outrageous.
Outrageous. Let's just use it straight away. We can say
这本书太离谱了.
这本书太离谱了.
这个价格太离谱了.
真是太离谱了. Quite funny. Outrageous, so much of something, or so preposterous, outrageous. Now, I think we can understand this word as well. 离 means
like away or far away.
Yeah. So like we can use it whenever we talk about distances. 我离你家很近，我离你家很远。
对。
Okay? 距离 also like distance, the word for distance. 我离开 as well, perfect. Now 谱 is the word from 靠谱, yeah?
Yeah, 谱 here I think it basically means like how things should be normally, like a normality.
Yeah.
But here, so like away from normality means it's not normal. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fantastic. So you got 离谱 like that. And that's how you should use it then. You just shout out 离谱就可以了。
离谱。
离谱。
If you go out and buy something and they ask for a very ridiculous price, you'll be like, this is 太离谱了。
太离谱了，真的。Okay, guys, it's quite interesting here. We have 扯. And this, very similar to our previous word, which was 离谱.
Yeah.
Now it's
similar
扯.
meaning.
Yeah.
But different word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, 扯 it can be used as an action to just say to pull, like to stretch.
Stretch.
To stretch something out, like open this thing trunk up or something. Open it up, and then you say 扯
开.
扯开.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now in English, you can also say like if something is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like a stretch.
Yeah.
Oh, you're stretching, man. You're stretching. This is unbelievable.
It's too much of a stretch.
Yeah. Also like outrageous. Very similar to 离谱. Then you would say
扯，太扯了。
太扯了 or 很扯。
很扯。
So yeah, it's also the same as 离谱. Like it's outrageous, it's unbelievable, it's a stretch basically.
Yes. Exactly.
很扯. The characters, if you want to know that as well, is to stop and then a hand. So your hand stops something and then you start pulling it up, I guess. Yeah, I think that makes sense. 扯，太扯了. So if we continue with this word 扯 now, we can get another one. Imagine you just had a very good example.
It's like you're trying to run very, very fast and someone is pulling your leg from behind to stop you from running fast.
Exactly. So they're hindering you. If you ever feel like you are dragged back down by someone, then you should say, let's say, so you drag me down, okay? So Steffi...
我扯你的后腿.
Steffi 扯 Felix 的
后腿.
So 后腿 is the back leg of mine.
Yeah.
So this means you hinder me. You pull me down.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's do it in another sentence. Let's say, I want to record 100 videos a day. Or you want to record 100 videos, but I feel sick. 不好意思了，我就怎么说？
扯你的后腿了。
扯你后腿了，非常好。不好意思，扯你后腿了。
对。讨厌。It's okay. Feel better.
Thank you. Now, this next thing is just something you can shout out if you fail, but usually epically.
Yeah.
Yeah? So what's the term?
仆街.
Pok guy. You tried to sound Cantonese is because this is a Cantonese term originally.
It's a Cantonese term originally, yes.
Yeah, so they speak a lot of Cantonese in southern China, therefore they have their own slang, and some of it makes it all the way up to the north. Mainstream Chinese. So this is one of them. In Cantonese it would sound like
仆街.
Pok guy.
Yes.
And in Chinese now, pu would be like...
扑街.
Yeah.
扑街.
Yeah, 扑街.
Yeah.
扑 would be like to fall, like 摔倒了. And then you have gai, which means street. 街. So 扑街 would mean to fall on the street.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just fall on the street.
Yeah.
It's very embarrassing.
Yes.
You can imagine when you do that, you'd be like, oh no, did anyone see me? You try to get up as soon as possible and just keep walking like nothing happened. And so in China, if you say this, then you would say...
扑街 in Mandarin.
Oh, yeah. So this is interesting as well, because you can actually say 扑街. It's not as common though, is it?
No.
So you can say both.
Yeah.
But stick to 扑街if anything.
扑街 is better. More authentic.
Much more authentic.
Yes.
So yeah, if you ever see something fail, you go 扑街了.
这个电影扑街啦.
扑街了. Fantastic. Please enjoy the usage of that word we just gave you, and don't fail with it. And don't fail us. Wonderful. Now we have a term which is I'm drunk, which would be
醉了.
我醉了. 我醉了. 醉 is just to be drunk. But if I go, oh, look at me, and I run around the house 10 times and I just do weird things, like, smell this.
我也是醉了.
What was that?
我也是醉了.
There we go. Please enjoy. 我也是醉了.
Yeah, it literally means like I'm drunk.
I'm drunk, yeah.
But usually we use it to say that I'm speechless. Like, what can I say?
As in something weird is happening. Yeah. I don't know how to go about this, how to approach this thing.
Exactly. 我也是醉了.
我也是醉了. Basically, he's drunk and I feel the same almost, I guess. So you should say 也是醉了. You need to take it word by word or character by character. 我也是醉了. Okay, excellent. So when would you use this word then?
I think last week because the weather in Shanghai has been rainy and cloudy for 2 months, and we're like, 我也是醉了，这个天气太差了。
太差了. So say whatever you want. Say that it's preposterous or like something super weird.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do about it. You say, 我也是醉了. 我也是醉了. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, this next term now is I'm sitting here and I'm doing my job and I'm very happy with my job.
But I'm like, you should do this and you should do that. Stop
No,
doing this.
no. And then ultimately I would say 你行你上.
对.
你行你上. Which would be
if you can, then you should do it.
Yeah, if you can, then you should do it. So literally 你行 as in you, okay?
Yeah.
Then you 上, then you get up here and do it.
Get up and do it.
Yeah. So if you think you're so good at it, go ahead and do it yourself, basically.
But don't talk when other people is doing it.
Yeah, that's actually good as well. Don't talk and don't disturb because I'm doing my job
disturb.
now. So 你行你上 is a very good expression if someone comes up and they think they're good at something. Do it yourself then.
你行你上啊.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, so don't comment negatively on these videos unless you think you can do them better yourself.
Exactly.
你行你上,你行你上.
不要做键盘侠.
Don't be a keyboard warrior or a troll. And 你行你上吧. All the trolls should 行上. Yeah, and you've got this word now, which is this is in Chinese, but you love English in Chinese. So what there's an actually.
Yeah, we made a very Chinglish version. It's called you can you up.
So yeah, literally 你行你上 is you can you up. You also have an elongated word of it.
你行你上，不行别逼逼.
And if it's not okay, then don't BB.
Yeah, if you can't do it, then don't blah blah when other people are doing that.
In English we say blah blah. In Chinese we say BB. BB, which
talk too much.
Yeah, talk too much. Yeah. So again now, 你行你上. And you can stop there, or you can move on and say
不行别逼逼.
不行 if it's not okay. If you're not okay, like if you realize you're not capable, then be a BB. Yeah. Then don't blah blah.
Yes.
Don't talk so much about it. I think that expression is really useful and cool.
Yeah, like people use it a lot, especially at work.
And so this is one of those about if you don't know a word of English, or Chinese, sorry, that is, you can convince people that your Chinese is excellent because you've learned it in Chinese, maybe even though you didn't know it, and then you come back from Chinese to English. And Chinese people, I've realized when you say like, 这样就 OK 了, if you say 这样就 OK 了, it's like almost better than saying 这样就好了. It sounds so much more casual sometimes. Yeah. If you speak Chinese but with English words, they're going to be very impressed. It's like you've gone the route, but then you've come back because you know so much. Same thing with this. So even, again now, if you don't know any Chinese, you can still say, you
can, you up.
And then?
No can, no BB.
Remember that, guys. You can, you up.
No can, no BB.
No can, no BB. Hello guys, and this part of the course is going to be what?
We're going to teach you a bunch of slangs that you can use to describe things or people.
Yes, and all of it will be positive, so there'll be so much positive energy all over the place now. We'll start with something quite complicated, quite useful though.
It's called 颜值.
颜值. And this just means like...
it literally means the appearance value.
Or yeah, 颜 could mean color, like 颜色的颜. But it doesn't only mean color, it also means look or appearance.
Yes.
And then 值 means...
value.
Comes from value.
Value.
So the value of, the level or the value of your appearance.
Of your attractiveness.
Yeah, superficial term. It only talks about that. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting then is instead of saying someone is shy or someone is made...
Good looking.
Now instead you can say...
颜值很高.
So you say the level of this person, the value of this person's appearance
is high.
高.
It's like appearance score is high.
So if you've ever grown bored of shy and 好看 and 美 and 漂亮, start with this one instead.
Yeah. And also you can describe things with 颜值. For example, this hotel, 这个酒店的颜值很高.
很高.
这个餐厅这盆菜的颜值很高, 就很好看.
Yeah, it's very useful and also quite cool because it's a fairly new word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fairly new word and it's very important.
Yeah.
People like good-looking things.
They like good-looking things.
颜值是很重要.
真是确实是很重要的. Also, if you would describe something that is not that pretty, not that aesthetically pleasing, you could just say
颜值低.
颜值低就可以了. So it's quite a nice. It's even though it's slang, it's quite a nice and eloquent way of putting things. So start using 颜值 and people will be very impressed.
Yes.
Now in this next video we're going to go through a few adjectives. They'll just mostly be one characters, so that will be quite easy. One character once. So basically you can say 太好, but you can also say 超好. Which one would you say is?
Oh, 超好 is better than 太好.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. So you can say 太好 and you can throw that around as much as you want. Not just 好 but 太 anything else? 太好吃了.
太好吃了，太好看了。
对，
颜值太高了。
对对对。But now we also have 超 and we can just replace any adjectives with 超. Note that we don't say 了 at the end, do we? 超 something 了.
No.
No, we just say 超好.
超对。
Nothing else.
超
Perfect.
好。
Now let's do cow, a Chinese cow.
牛。
牛。
很重要的一个词。
So yeah, 非常重要的词. So 牛 means cow, but it also is slang for
awesomeness.
Awesome. So you're awesome would be 你很.
Yeah. 很牛.
Yeah. If you see a cow and you think this cow is awesome, it would be 这只牛很牛。
很牛的牛。
很牛的牛。
这是一只很牛的牛。
非常牛，这个牛很非常非常牛。You never say that, obviously. But I also try to ask, I try to sort of come up with or understand why it's牛and not another animal. But understand if you're in India, because yeah, they have a different viewpoint of, they have view牛in different ways. But here, why would it be a牛?
I guess maybe it's because like cows are a big and strong animal. Very strong.
Like I think our goal here, my goal here is that you should stop saying cows and start saying Felix instead. So strong. Okay, so now if you want to say that you're super awesome, how would you say that?
超牛.
超牛. 超牛. 超牛.
Felix 超牛.
谢谢. 超牛. 就是. Okay, now with this 牛, we can say 牛 and on its own you can just shout 牛 to anything. You can say, oh, this beef is so good. 这个牛肉很
太牛了。
太牛了。牛 usually has to do with like something you do, yeah? And not a taste, I guess.
Yeah, it's like outstanding, excellent.
Outstanding, yeah. Okay, and now moving on, we have 牛 and we have to what is this? To blow.
吹牛.
To blow is actually 吹. So you can use it as a verb to say to blow. Blow. But you can put it together like you just did and say
吹牛.
So you blow someone and say that they are awesome. So this is to boast.
To boast, yes.
To talk good about someone, to brag, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you've come across Chinese before, if you've done a little bit of research or studying, you'll know that Chinese likes to use verb and then noun a lot, just to make sure that everyone understands which verb you're talking about. So 吃 can mean a lot of things, but then, okay, now we know what you're talking about because you're saying 饭 at the end, 吃饭, and now there's no doubt. 吃饭, because 饭 means rice. When you run, you say 跑, and then you say 步 at the end as well. So that means run and then run a step, basically.
Yeah.
And 跳舞, 跳, jump, 舞 means dancing. And then we know that the jump means to dance. And now the example is 吹, which just means to blow. But if you blow what is it? A cow, then it means that you're bragging.
Yeah, boasting. Yeah.
You can also say if I go 你太美了，哎呦，今天你长得真帅啊，真美，不好意思。然后你怎么说？
不要吹牛了。
不要吹牛了。So yeah, 吹牛 like that. Fantastic, and that's how you use it. So yeah, blow the cow's horn, I imagine, sort of. Blow the cow.
吹牛.
吹牛. Now we have a new character here, and it means satisfying, or yeah. You did something and you feel happy now.
Yeah, 爽.
爽. And it looks like this, which I find quite funny. 爽. It looks funny. Yeah, it's like 4 X's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the big X there almost as well. So again, satisfying. So do you want to find an example for them?
昨天那场球踢得太爽了。
对。
或者这顿饭吃得太爽了。
对。So you do an activity, like you eat food, 太爽了。对。Or you just he played football, which was the first example. He played football and he hit it, he scored it, and it was so satisfying.
Yeah.
太爽了. 爽了, 爽. Fantastic. So yeah, just funny little sound, 爽, and a funny looking character, and a very useful little word. Very useful. And now we have another one.
It's called 过瘾. It's a similar meaning as 爽. Like, 过 means to pass or to like experience. Yin means an addiction. It's like your addiction has been satisfied. So
exactly.
过瘾. So for example, if you are a person who is who really loves playing basketball and you haven't played for a long time, and one day that you get to play a really good game of basketball, you'll be like, 太过瘾了.
太过瘾了. 过瘾了. Fantastic. 过瘾, yeah, means it's something, actually, if it's not slang anymore, it could also mean just addictive. Something is addictive. 过瘾, you've gone onto it and now you are addicted. But in that same way, because it's so nice, it's very entertaining and it's slang for pleasing. So you have 爽 and you have 过瘾. They both sort of mean the same thing. And it's up to you now which one you prefer. Either you want to go the easy route and just go 爽 because it's easier to pronounce and easier to remember. But if you feel like, oh, let's make it harder, go with 过瘾. That one's quite nice as well.
Yes, nice.
你觉得什么会让你过瘾？
去好好的 shopping 一次会很过瘾。
逛逛街，那就会过瘾。
Shopping.
Wonderful. So far we've done like satisfying and we've done boosting for like awesomeness. But now we're just going with cool, straight up.
Cool. It just means cool.
Yeah, and the Chinese word they just took. It's like you didn't have a word to say cool before. And so you just took the English word.
It came from English.
So it is cool, like you just said.
Cool, basically.
There's a website called Youku.
Youku, yeah.
Like outstanding or excellent coolness.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's a video site.
Yeah, just like YouTube. And they thought, okay, let's try and make it similar to YouTube, sounding at least. So Yo, that's good, because Yo is a character that means outstanding.
Yeah.
And then cool means cool. So Youku is the name of that website.
Yeah.
So just say cool if you don't have anything better to say. Cool. 哇，这个很cool.
对啊，是太酷了。
太酷了. Fantastic. And if you say like cool, 太酷了, then it sounds like you're saying cool at the end almost, because you're laying l as well. 太酷了, 太酷了. So every time you say cool, you can say 太酷了, and it sounds like you're saying 太 and then the word cool. 太酷了, 是不是?
Yes.
太酷了. Hey guys, and in this video now we're moving on to like prettiness and how we can describe people as in like they're well, I don't know, they're gracious and they're beautiful. So we can say 女生 or 男生, and that just means a girl or a boy.
Yeah.
And then the term now that we've come up with, or we didn't, but Chinese did, you and others, is what?
女神或者男神.
Fantastic. So it sounds very similar to 生, but you're saying
神 second tone.
Exactly, and I'm saying first tone.
And, and also without the G.
Without the G.
Yeah.
We can skip mine because we already know what mine means.
Yeah.
But yours comes from like spirit or
like a god.
Like a god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about gods in China, you need to know if you're talking about many gods, or you're talking about one god. And so if you say 皇帝, which just means god, the god, then it's usually about Christianity. If you say 神, then it could be about spirits, or it could be about, like you just said, gods as well. Perfect. Okay, a little bit about that just. Okay, let's get back to this then. Sounds super similar.
Yeah.
And if you describe a person as a 神,
yeah, you basically is like you look up to him or her, and they represent, you know, attractiveness, beauty, or power, or you know, something to look up to.
Well, it's very, very good. So first of all, we can use 神 to just describe someone who's excellently good at something.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, he codes so well.
大神.
大神, yeah, so big 神. But if we move on now, we come back to the original example. We can just say that this person is a 女生, she's a girl. But if we say 这个是一个, 她是一个
女神,
then it's
a goddess.
She's a goddess. She's the prettiest one in the class. Everyone wants to be her. All the boys want to date her.
Yeah.
And you get it. Yeah. And similarly, we would have 他是一个男生.
男生?
Yes.
Boy.
He's a boy, or he is actually
男神.
Yeah. So there's a lot of boys in the class, but there's a lot of 男生 in the class, but there's only one
男神.
Yeah, you get it. It's the same for boys instead. So yeah, start using those and you'll be very up to date with Chinese slang. So in the previous video, we described 神 like a goddess, but like a really attractive or nice person. And so now we're moving on to, what is this one?
小鲜肉.
小鲜肉, which literally then would be...
Literally will be little fresh meat.
So you sort of have this expression in English as well, I think.
Really?
I'm not sure. I've been here for too long. I'm not sure if I just said it too many times in English.
Yeah.
Little fresh meat. No, you probably don't. But lamb meat you can call it. But lamb meat would just mean that someone is young.
Oh, really?
Lamb meat, yeah. But 小鲜肉, it's not exactly the same thing because 小鲜肉 just means someone who's really, what is it?
Young and attractive guy.
Yeah.
It's always a guy.
It's always a guy, is it, as well? Yeah. So if you, with an older guy, you break up with him and now you found yourself some...
You're like, oh, 我要去找小鲜肉.
Excellent. So again, it might sound like you're new on the market or you're unexperienced or something like that. It just means you're hot and young. So it's a good term all in all. So 小鲜肉 is a good term. Now we also have two other good terms that describe Chinese values, I think, also a little bit.
Man and woman.
Yeah, man and woman. So we can start with a man.
Okay. 高富帅.
高富帅. So we take three adjectives, the three most important adjectives, we make them into a word.
Yes. Tall, rich, handsome.
Tall, rich, and handsome. That's all we need to be, guys. Remember that. Don't do anything else than that. No.
This one.
No. At least not. What am I? I'm not that tall. I'm in China. I'm quite tall. Yeah, full, hopefully. Shy. I don't know, when I shave. Okay, 高富帅, tall, rich, and handsome, but it's just a term for a...
most attractive on the market.
Okay, so that's for us. But for you here, we don't need you to be particularly tall. But what's important, however, is that you're white.
Pale skin. Fair skin.
And then the other thing that remains from men...
is rich.
You still need to be rich. That we require that for both genders. And then you need to be...
beautiful.
So we are 帅 and you are...
美.
So I am 高富帅 and you are...
白富美.
I sat up a little bit so I look 高 at least. Yeah, 高富帅. Say it again.
高富帅 and 白富美.
Excellent. So, explain or describe yourself or other people as 高富帅 or 白富美, or also 小鲜肉.
小鲜肉.
And you'll be, again, up to date with Chinese slang and you'll be very impressive. Now, a new word that can describe people is...
土豪.
土豪. So we'll talk about this word 土 later on when we get to negative things. But 土 has to do with ground. That's where it comes from. But if it's used as slang, you can just say 你这个人很土.
Yeah, like don't have a good taste, like very outdated. Yeah.
So that is 土, and it just means outdated. You're unfashionable.
Yeah.
But then what the next word in this case, or this character in this word is
豪.
Which is like from 豪华, which means luxurious.
Yeah, rich, luxurious.
So this is for the nouveau rich people, we call it. It's like a French term we use in English. People who are rich now.
But that don't have a good taste.
Exactly. So simple taste, bad taste, but they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you told me you have a lot of stories where you've seen like...
Oh yeah, like a grandma walking into like a Ferrari dealership and with a bag of money and trying to buy a Ferrari, this kind of thing.
So clearly a lot of money, but no taste for anything. Yeah. I think that's quite
real.
Cool, actually.
It's very real in China.
It's very real in China, yeah. We'll talk more about why people are rich, actually in the slang course as well, because you can just get rich by owning the right property at the right time, and the government buys it, you make money, and then you can go into a Ferrari shop with a big bag of cash and buy it.
And like in Inner Mongolia, there used to be people who would, for example, they have a house and they have a backyard, and underneath the backyard they're like a coal mine or something. Yeah, a lot of people get rich like that. Yeah,
excellent stuff. So there's different ways to get rich in China, but that's a new course for you, a later course as well. Excellent. So that's how you use 土豪. Quite a useful term, isn't it?
Yeah, very useful.
Because it's quite common, especially in China.
Common.
So common that we have a word for it. Okay, now we have the word 萌. Why is it 萌?
It's just cute.
It's just cute.
萌 means like a new sprout.
Yeah, sprouts up.
Very young
basically.
sprout.
Yeah.
So it's very young and very cute.
Exactly. So you sprout out. Yeah. So you could say 可愛, but that's not as slangy. It's
not as cute.
And not as cute also. Yeah, so 萌, just as cute. So you can say, oh, 你很萌,你很萌.
我萌不萌?
萌. 萌 sounds quite funny as well.
Yeah.
But we can also make it into a verb, and this is people like this.
卖萌.
卖萌. So you sell yourself yourself to...
Sell your cuteness, like play cute.
Yeah, you play cute, you sell it.
Be cute.
As in you make it into a business deal and you want to have as many people as possible buy it or buy into it. So here we go, my mung. Yeah, girls who play around with their selfies, girls who do everything to look good. What's the new, you need to tell them. I think if you watch this video, I don't know, 6 months later, the trends might be different. But in China, I've realized, I've noticed that they do this a lot.
Yeah, it's like scissor, stone, paper.
I didn't know this.
Scissors, stone.
So you can do either of these?
Yeah, you can do scissors, stone, and paper.
But then what's with your mouth as well? You can do this?
Yes.
It's so weird. Chinese people, I see that everywhere. They're like,
It's just 卖萌啊.
But why do you do this?
It's cute, because it's like babies.
Oh,
baby
you're like
fat.
a baby.
Baby
Okay.
fat.
So weird. Another few things I've noticed is, sorry, we're not supposed to talk too much about this. The word is my mung. I just get carried away. Is when we took a photo before, my people I took photos for, they started taking photos from underneath.
Oh yeah.
Do you know why?
Maybe look taller.
Yeah, they want to look taller.
And if you
so
take your
weird.
selfies from here, you look cuter. Like your eyes look bigger and all that.
It's like the Chinese have figured out all the angles to take the best selfies.
Yeah, we're very good at that.
Very good at that. So, my mung, now I think I've proven the point why my mung is such an important word in Chinese culture, contemporary culture at least.
Yeah. Do you know how to 卖萌? Nice try.
Hello guys, Felix here and...
Steffi.
Hello. Okay, we're going through slang, and now in this little video in today's episode we'll be going through
some negative expressions and words.
And unfortunately there's plenty of them to go around. So let's get started then. To start you off with, we want to give you some like adverbs so that you can use these with what we teach you later on as well. So adverbs being like very or something like that. But these adverbs are usually used in a
negative situation.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to go ahead and teach them the first one?
Oh, the first one will be 成狗. So you use it after an adjective, a negative adjective. For example, 累成狗 or 饿成狗. 成狗literally means become a dog. It's like if you say 累成狗, it means like I'm so tired, I'm becoming a dog. Something like I'm tired like a dog, I'm hungry like a dog.
I've realised, we're going to mention that later on in the course as well, there's a lot of things that have to do with a goal. That have to do with goal
like,
in Chinese. It's weird.
I guess like in our culture, traditionally dogs are not like like a good
day. Yeah, it's quite dirty and it's run around like
not, it doesn't have a lot of status.
That makes sense. So yeah, your examples here was, this would be
累成狗
累成狗
困成狗
or this would be
饿成狗
饿成狗 Fantastic. So just put any adjective, usually negative ones like you said, put 成狗 and you're good.
穷成狗 最近我穷成狗了
So no 钱 Yeah. Okay, and that was one word. Now the second one is
透
And this one, what does it mean? To start with, it means like...
means like...
extreme, yeah?
Yeah, like exceeding the extreme even. Yeah.
So it's the very, very end of everything.
Yeah.
So we have, for instance, if you don't know the word yet, you just have to add ming, which is clear or bright or white. And then you said 透明, and that means...
Yeah. Through something.
Yeah, transparent.
Yeah,
I can't find anything here. 透明. So anyways, we've got 透 there. And now, using that 透, that is sort of an adverb that you put at the end of something. You say an adjective and then you say 透了.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's so much, it's so extreme, and it's also quite negative, yeah?
It's very negative, yeah.
Do you want to give them some examples of this?
我男朋友昨天劈腿了，我伤心透了。
伤心透了, 伤心透了. So, hurt, 透.
Yeah, sad.
Oh, so sad. Fantastic. When your boyfriend broke up with you. What else is there? We can say...
这本书烂透了，你千万别买。
烂透了. Yeah, that's good. So you can hear all of these expressions, which is 烂, or the first one was 伤心, very negative expressions that we're using together with 透, and that's how you use them. Give us your own little expressions here down below in the comment section and see what you can come up with, and we'll be very excited to read. And you'll help other people as well as yourself. Okay, guys, so now we're going to give you the word for being extremely good looking. I think I meant ugly. Okay, so what is it then? It's literally
丑八怪
ugly 8 monsters.
Yes, 丑 is ugly, 八 is 8, and 怪 is monster.
You can think of it like I'm ugly as 8 monsters.
Yes.
丑八怪.
丑八怪
丑八怪. Okay, so just give us an example of this, like this, because it's just a noun, isn't it?
Yes, it's a noun.
So we could just say you are 丑八怪. 丑八怪.
Yeah. 昨天我遇见这个丑八怪，好讨厌。
这个丑八怪好讨厌. Wonderful. So it's just monster looking. So who would you describe as that? What would a person look like to classify as a 丑八怪?
Describe this person?
Yeah.
Someone with like, you know, a lot of pimple on his face or his or her face.
It's all superficial. It's nothing to do with his behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like he's ugly looking.
Yeah, he's ugly looking. His appearance.
So we have 丑八怪, and that means ugly looking person.
Ugly. Yeah.
And if you not necessarily ugly, but if you dress ugly, you don't have a sense of fashion or anything, we use a very simple character, just a one character to describe that as an adjective.
土
which means ground or earth. Yeah, from the earth, everything is simple, everything is simplistic and primitive.
Yeah.
And so is your fashion or your taste for fashion. So yeah, you're not really wearing nice clothes or anything. So that's 土.
Yeah, no taste.
So
outdated.
Yeah, very outdated, unfashionable. So for instance, me.
不要这样，好土啊！
好土啊. Yeah, so it can have to do with clothes. Can it have to do with anything else but clothes?
It could be behavior as well.
Yeah, very simple, simply. Very, very, very not aware of trends and so on. Yeah, 土. Very simple character. You just add onto your Chinese vocabulary and you're good to go. Okay, guys, so the character now is 爱言, yeah?
Yes.
And what does 爱 mean?
爱 means obstacle.
It does mean love.
Not that one.
Sounds exactly like love though. So if you were caught on that one, don't worry. It was meant to be. And then yen is like this, yeah.
Eye.
So to be an obstacle to the eye, basically to hinder the eye.
Literally, it means annoying. Like, you know, just you're in my way, and just get out of my way. Get out of my way. 你好碍眼，走开，走开。
碍眼. So yeah, again, in English translation would be annoying.
Annoying, in a way, or just like
a nuisance. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, all of those things could be an 碍眼. And I think you can definitely understand if someone's in your way, you just call them an 碍眼, and you sort of understand what that would mean.
Yeah, uncomfortable to look at sometimes.
Very uncomfortable to look at. So yeah, we use it as an adjective. Yeah.
Yep.
So we would say 你很
碍眼，
你很碍眼，你非常碍眼，你碍眼透了。Oh yeah, wonderful. And those are 3 expressions, guys. First of all, we had the ugly monster, or 8 ugly monsters. Then we had simple, as in the earth, and then we also had nuisance to the eye. Those are 3 words that we think are particularly useful. Good adjectives, good negative ones as well, not too difficult to remember either, hopefully. Which one do you like the most? And let us know, and let us know how you would use let us know how you would use them. Hello guys. In this video we're going to learn 4 little expressions, and these are ways you can call people. Okay.
Yeah, to describe people.
To describe people, yes. Go ahead with the first one. I like this one a lot.
The first one is 戏精.
戏精. So, what does it mean to start with?
Literally means 戏 means drama. 精 means like a spirit, a ghost.
You can use it when you see Aladdin. Yeah. The name for Aladdin is Yao Jing, yeah?
Yeah, Yao Jing.
Yao Jing. And so anything anytime you have a spirit or a ghost or something like that. Also, like the things you said, the things which I should actually know the name of it, but maybe you can comment below and let us know, guys. The things like the little things that fly around,
in
almost
Harry
like
Potter.
Yeah, almost like elves or fairies, but more like a negative ones because they're quite evil, aren't they? Yeah.
So if you are a spirit with a lot of drama, you're like basically like a drama queen. So you always put on a lot of drama. You know. Draw a lot of attention to yourself, and you're a 戏精. 戏精. That's quite annoying.
Yeah. So yeah, you can clearly understand it from the 戏 as well, because the 戏 is just to play around, be an act.
Yes.
Acting. Yeah.
Put on a scene or something.
Yeah. And you can actually isolate it and just use the 戏 sort of on its own as well, because again, it means like to play around with. So what you can say is you can just say, oh, 你这个人很有戏, or 戏很多.
戏很多.
戏很多. So you play around a lot. You have an act, basically.
Yes.
You
are a drama.
Yeah, such a drama queen. Fantastic. So that word exists in Chinese as well. Okay, next expression now. It's quite funny. The literal translation is smelly butt. Smelly fart. Or smelly fart. And what is the word in Chinese?
臭屁.
Yeah, and that means arrogant.
Yeah.
Arrogant. I think that makes sense. Nothing else to talk about here.
Don't know why.
No, you smell, but I don't know. Yeah, you're arrogant. You don't care for anything else.
Yeah.
And you smell, and it has to do with your butt.
Annoying.
Let's not dig deeper into that. But let's give us an example. You can say.
那个男生好臭屁哦。
好臭屁啊，好臭屁啊。Fantastic. Please enjoy that usage now forever. Remember it as the butt word, or the ugly butt word, smelly butt word. Now this next expression is 摆架子.
摆架子.
摆架子. And so it literally means to like hang up or to...
Yeah, to put a frame, to put
up a frame.
Set up basically. A frame or something like that.
And that's literally what it means, and it actually means...
Means to be difficult to deal with, or to pretend to be, someone important and make it difficult for others. Yeah.
So if I go up and I go, can you do me a favor and just like help me, I don't know, buy that thing we were talking about. Can you please do that? Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I'm busy. But if you buy me dinner, maybe I will help you.
Oh, okay. So what you're doing here is you're hanging up frames. Making it difficult. It's like you're pretending to do something else, so you're playing hard to get, basically. So you can imagine if you walk up to someone who's hanging up frames, and then they pretend to be busy, but they're actually not doing very much. Maybe that's how we can think of it, at least.
Maybe.
So that's, you put up an air of being busy or of being a bit of a master. Also sort of like arrogant and difficult to get. So 摆架子, very good. So you can say 你不要摆架子, or 你这个人很摆架子.
Yeah. 你不要摆架子了，这样子。
So just like I did now, if I said, can you please help me with this? And then you said, no, I can't. Then I would say,
啊，你是跟我摆架子吧？
跟我摆架子吧，不要这样摆架子的好不好？ Perfect. So it's 3 characters, but it's not that difficult to remember, hopefully, because if you know to hang up or to put something and 架子, then you've got this word already. Now this next and the last word here is 装逼. 装逼. It's one of my favourite ones. One of the first ones I learnt as well. Oh. First, let's go. Or 装逼means
pretending to be something else, pretending to be someone.
Yeah, exactly. So you put up an air of being someone else. Quite similar to the words we've just been going through. First of all, we have 装. And
pretend.
Yeah, this means to pretend. It's quite an interesting character if you want to dig into it, because 装 could mean also to install something or put something on. But if you put something onto yourself, onto your complexion, then it becomes like an air that you are. And usually that's like your last facade. So it's the one you show towards the outside, and maybe it's a bit fake. So you're pretending. Hence, you will use the same word to say you're pretentious. I think that makes all the sense in the world. So you can actually say 你很装. Can you say that?
Yeah, you can.
你很装, 你很装, 你这个人很装.
对。
But we've added another word as well. B, which is very awkward to say, yeah?
Yes.
Sorry that you had to say it. B is, again, the female genital, and you can but it's actually used quite a lot, this B, even though we wouldn't use it on its own, but it can be used quite often in other words.
Yes, but when you use it on its own, it's kind of like a dirty word to describe the female genital. So
you can use it on its own, but it's quite harsh.
It's not elegant.
Yeah, not elegant at all. Anyways, but yeah, you can put it into a lot of words, and this is one of them. So you can say 装, or you can say 装逼, and again, that just means pretentious. 很装逼. Yeah, so B can be used on its own, like you just said. But what's interesting as well is you can use it just like this, or throw it into many, many words. Yeah. You can throw it into many, many, especially negative ones. Can you give some examples?
穷逼.
穷逼, so poor.
Yeah.
Or like 土逼, like I'm so simple, or like anything else.
臭逼.
Yeah, you get it. So you can put any adjective and then put a B at the end, and it's just, I don't know, it's just
like describing a person.
Makes it a bit stronger as well, I guess, and a bit more colloquial.
Yeah, it's like ugly.
Beep.
or like broke.
It's okay, you're allowed to say anything here. We can beep it.
You're beeping.
I don't know why there's a B there. One of the theories was that this B came from the word be. They just wrote B in English. Have you heard of this theory? be in English, and that came from the word bitch. So they just thought drong bitch.
Maybe.
And then, so it was initially, you can also write drong and then just letter B in English. But then later on, we wanted to make this Chinese, so they just took the word B, because that sounds like the letter B. So initially it was actually drong bitch.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Wonderful. So those are four words that we hope you find useful. We particularly find them useful. There's drama queen.
戏精
And we have arrogant.
臭逼
And you have like a person who hangs up shelves.
摆架子
And you have someone who's pretentious.
装逼
Guys, have you seen a woman like this before? That in Chinese would be called
作女
作女. So it's a, what is it? What would you call it in English?
Like a really difficult woman, you
Yeah.
know, a princess, you know, a lot of dramas, a lot of demands.
Yeah. And the roles that I would say that the roles between me coming from Sweden especially, the roles between males and females are quite prominent here in China. So a male has to be a male, and a female, especially if they're called 作, they are super females. They're like, oh, don't do that, oh, good luck,
I want that, I need this, I need that.
yeah. So there's a term for it, and it's even like, especially because we're in Shanghai now, yeah, you said. So there's even a term for Shanghai people like this. What would that be?
上海作女
Shanghai 作女. Okay, but the only thing we're going to focus on in this video is 作. So I think you understand it already. 作 is just an adjective to describe people like that. Okay, so you can say 你这个人很
作
很作. And again, from the previous video, if you watched that, we added B at the end, which means cunt. Hopefully we beat that as well. And you can say either 作 or you can say
作逼
作逼. Is that okay to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, 作逼. Is it cute? Is it offensive? Is it? Should
it's
you be
negative.
ashamed? Yeah, it's negative.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be ashamed of saying it. When you see someone who's 作, you can call them 作逼. 这个人很作逼.
Well, anything with a B is slightly dirty. It's not very decent.
Yeah.
You can say that with friends.
So taking it a little bit further than it was initially. Perfect. So 作 like that. Now, if you understand how to use 作 like basically a drama queen, we're lacking better words here, but basically saying a drama queen, like 作, she is drama basically.
Yeah, a princess.
Yeah, a princess, but as an adjective. Now, we have an expression which is 作死. By the way, this 作, there is just the character 作, which is like 工作的作, and that is the same character as in to make something, yeah? Or 作业, to homework. But if you say 作 instead, then it becomes something completely different. So 作死, what would that be?
Well, it means like you cause a lot of troubles to yourself, like because you're being difficult and you cause a lot of trouble to yourself, you get yourself into a very bad situation. Exactly.
So there's a lot of words in Chinese. If you're hungry, very hungry, you can say 死 at the end. And if you are such as 作, then you can add 死 at the end because you've caused yourself this trouble, like you just explained. So you'll notice that 死 is very prominent in Chinese here, as in to die. So you have 作死. So how would you use that in a sentence? 你这个人作死 just.
不要作死啦。
不要作死啦。
对。
不要作死啦. Perfect. So don't be like that. And then using that, we have our last expression as well, which is just a bit longer, but still makes so much sense, and it's very common.
不作死就不会死。
不作死就不会死. Perfect. Meaning
that if you don't cause trouble to yourself, you won't get yourself into that really bad situation.
Exactly. So those are like the wise words that we teach these drama queens in Shanghai, especially. If you don't do that, then it won't happen to you. Yeah. And it's quite funny now because I was on a TV show, 非诚勿扰, one of the biggest ones. It used to be the biggest one. It's not anymore, is it?
Not anymore.
No. And it was, and then they actually said, because they thought I was weird, which I probably was, and in the newspaper the next day they wrote, 李飞这个小伙不作死就不死。
就不会死。
Yeah. So they thought that I was weird and I caused it upon myself, basically, my own demise. Now it's funny because you can say 你不死就不会死. You can say that, but you can also say it in English because again, Chinese people love to use English. So the expression, do you remember it?
No 作 no die.
No 作 no die. So no 做 no die. They didn't know how to translate 做, so they just, again, because we lack better words for 做 as well, so they just kept 做, but then all the other words turned into English words.
No 做 no die.
No 做 no die. So if you meet a drama queen, just say no 做 no die.
No 做 no die, why you try?
Is that a thing? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No 做 no die,
why you try?
Excellent. Why you try?
Why would you try?
So if you say that to your friends, would they understand it?
Yeah.
And they would enjoy it?
Yeah, we'll laugh.
Wonderful. Those are a few expressions, but all deriving from one tiny little word, which is 做. Fantastic. Please enjoy. Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to go through two different expressions to describe people when they, I don't know, they're quite sleazy because they want to get you hooked on them because, they're ultimately trying to flirt with you. Okay? So the first expression would be flower heart.
Yes, 花心.
花心. Flower heart as in you are being very promiscuous almost, like you flirt around a lot.
Yeah, you're not loyal.
Not loyal. Okay, so that's 花心, and it makes sense. I think it's quite nice. We actually recorded a video where I explained this. So you can see there we have flowers, and if your heart is like a flower, it just belongs to everyone. You're so romantic. Fantastic. So that is 花心.
花心.
As an adjective?
Yes.
Yes. So 你很花心.
对。
你这个人很花心。非常好。你认识花心的人吗？
认识啊。
认识吗？
对。认识。要小心这样的人。
他会怎么样呢？
他会出轨啊。
他经常会出轨。
对，会劈腿。
好了，花心不是特别的好。好的，顺便教你们的啊。Okay, and then we have another expression which is what?
伪君子。
Okay, so 君子 would just be a gentleman. So you can call someone
君子，李飞他是个君子。
我就是一个君子。Wonderful. So just a 君子 as a gentleman. But now, Wei would be what? Fake, exactly. So 伪君子 is a fake gentleman, almost like a phony.
Like a phony, yeah.
Like a phony. So you need to appear as a gentleman, but you're not actually. Maybe why would you use this, or when would you use this expression?
We would say 这个人原来他是一个伪君子。对。
Because he came off as quite nice.
Yeah, at first we thought he's a really good guy, and then later we discovered that he's actually not. He just pretends to be.
So that's a 伪君子. Yeah. So now you have two expressions quite similar to each other and quite applicable in the same sort of manner and context. We have flower heart and we have fake gentleman. And that's promiscuous person or an unloyal person or a...
Like a fake gentleman. A phony.
Phony. Fantastic. 你认识伪君子吗？
有啊。有
认识很多吗？
有认识，不多，有几个。
那他们会怎么样呢？尤其是对女生会很伪君子吗？
有可能啊。对，就很绅士，就是对你很好一开始，但是后来就出轨啊。
后来也会出轨，你这个人也会出轨啊。各个人都会出轨啊。
对啊。I'm trying to remember the word. Remind them 出轨。
Oh, that's good. Okay, 出轨, because we learned it before. Okay, it's not that everyone cheats in China, don't worry. Good. If you enjoyed that video, guys, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. If you're already watching this on our website, ignore what I just said. Okay, guys, in this video, we're going to go through 3 expressions. One of them is, okay.
脑残.
Yeah.
脑 means brain, and 残 means disability.
So I think you understand what it means. Translation is here. But you think it's quite okay to say this one? It's quite cute.
Sometimes. Yeah, but it's a negative word, but it's not a dirty word. You know, say that.
Not too offensive, basically. Not as the other two that we're about to teach.
Yeah, sometimes you could joke with your friend, like 你这个脑残.
And that's completely accepted if you do that. However, if you do it to new people, strangers, tread lightly. Okay, so that's now 残 again, brain damage, literally. Okay, or brain disability. Now we move on, and first of all we have 色, and 色 just means on its own. Wow, 你这个怎么这么色呀?
Yeah,
what does that
like
mean?
Horny.
Yeah, so it's quite funny here because the word 色 means color, but also
means horny.
Horny. I think that's quite beautiful, actually. So yeah, you've got so much colour, you just can't control it. If it's black and white, everything's boring and dull. If it's colourful, you're horny.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then lang is what?
Wolf.
So it's
dangerous.
So it's literally a colourful wolf, but it translates to a
like a horny person and dangerous at the same time.
Horny. Oh, dangerous as well.
Yeah. 色狼, yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. Will cause dangers to, especially female.
Especially, yeah, that's the thing, because I was going to say, 色狼, I've only heard this used towards men. Would you ever call a woman a 色狼?
Very rare.
Very rarely. Okay, because this also, like you said, it implies sort of danger, and they might, I don't know, they might be dangerous too.
Yeah, cause sexual harassment.
Something like that, yeah. Eat your tofu, if you know what that means.
吃豆腐.
So 色狼, be aware of those, and if you can also call someone a 色狼 if they're really, really horny, if they come up to you at a club. You go, I'll take a 色狼. Oh.
Yeah, that would be very harsh though.
Would it?
Yeah, you say 这个色狼 would be like, oh wow.
Ooh, everyone be careful. Yeah. What would you call someone in the club then?
The club?
If they walked up to you, they robbed themselves to you, what would you say then? Wouldn't you say 色狼?
Yeah, 色狼 is very harsh.
You say that?
Yeah, 咸猪手.
You would say 咸猪手, and that leads us to this word. Yeah, 咸猪手. So 色狼 is quite harsh. 咸猪手 is like a horny man, basically.
Yeah, for example, if someone harass you in the office, like sexual harassment, that would be like 办公室咸猪手.
And again, literally now, 咸 is what?
Salty.
Salty, true.
Pig.
手.
Hand.
Salty pig hands.
Ooh, 咸猪手.
So imagine, like, they basically thought, oh, this is so gross and so disgusting. Yeah. It feels like he's got salty pig hands. Yeah, he's harassing me here. Yeah. So 咸猪手 is a wonderful expression. An adjective or a noun, yeah?
A noun.
Yeah, a noun. And now the last one, almost the worst of them all, is if you are a 变态.
变态. Pervert.
A pervert. But this initially, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this initially is just because 变态 is change your attitude or change who you are. So it just means you're different and you're like, you're a bit weird,
abnormal.
Basically. Abnormal. But then this has grown into just becoming a pervert.
Yeah.
So I hear all the time, like Chinese ladies or girls on the street, usually 作女, they usually go out on the street and they shout, "Oh, 你这个变态, 变态!"
变态.
Have you heard that as well?
Yeah.
So yeah, they just shout it out to someone. Basically a pervert.
Yeah.
Almost like, would you translate as a freak as well, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would, yeah? So 变态, wonderful. So now you have 4 different expressions to call people out on if you don't like the way they act. Yeah? Again, I'll do the English, you'll do the Chinese. Okay. First of all, we have brain damage.
脑残.
Which is...
brain disability?
Brain disability or a bit,
Brain damage.
Yeah, brain damage. Okay, a bit mentally disabled. And then you have a colourful wolf.
色狼.
So, as in a pervert. And then you also have salty pig hands.
咸猪手.
It's in a guy who, a horny dude. Usually a dude, yeah?
Yeah, 吃豆腐的.
吃豆腐的人, 对. And then the last one is 变态, which is change your personality, which is a pervert.
Pervert.
Yeah. Sorry, I did all of those at the last one. For the last one, sorry. Yeah, and that is it. Please use these ones wisely, and hopefully you'll never have to, but unfortunately we think you might have to use these words a couple of times if you're in China.
At least understand these words.
At least understand them, so you know if you're being called this as well. That's probably the most important lesson here. Excellent. I'll see you in the next video. We'll see you in the next video. Okay, in this video, we're going to go through different... What is this?
Like adjectives to describe people?
Yeah, different people in society. Yeah. We'll have 4 different people we'll bring up to you, and then we'll pick and choose which one you prefer to use. First of all, we have what?
娘娘腔.
Okay, so 娘娘 just means girl, basically.
Yeah, like a woman.
Yeah, 娘娘. It can use 娘娘 on its own, yeah? By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so 娘娘 can be used on its own. And then 腔.
腔 means 腔调, which means style, which means how you carry yourself, how you behave.
So 腔, by the way, that's really useful to learn to start with. So not just to teach you this word, but also maybe we can step aside and just teach the word 腔. which, like you said, the way you
腔调
carry yourself.
Yeah,
and then we
腔调
say 腔调. And that means the way you carry yourself. So if you have a lot of style, you dress really nice, you talk really nice, what would you say about me then?
这个人很有腔调，
就是
他很有腔调。
谢谢，真感谢，谢谢。Okay, and now coming back to this 腔 because we know what it means. So 娘娘腔, so you carry yourself in a female manner.
Yeah, we use that to describe a man who behaves kind of in a feminine way.
Exactly. So 娘娘腔 is that simply. And then we have next word, which is what?
油腻
油腻. And so this is literally then...
greasy.
Yeah, greasy it means. 油 means oil.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And 腻 means what, by the way?
腻 means it's almost like too much. It makes you uncomfortable. It's too oily,
Yeah.
too greasy.
So that makes it greasy.
Yeah.
And so we can say 油腻. And this is interesting now because this is in particular an expression towards males.
Yeah, especially like older male, mid-aged male or above, like a greasy older man. It basically behaves, with not a very good taste or sleazy or cheesy. Yeah.
Very good. So you gave an example just now where they walk in a banquet.
Yeah.
Meet.
Sometimes if you go to a banquet with like these older men, mid-aged men, and they will be talking about their achievements and what they know, who they know, and also they will be like not respecting girls and making them drink alcohol or even be like touching them or just 咸猪手.
咸猪手. Yeah, being piggy hands.
Greasy.
Yeah, and greasy. And like bragging about who they know, bragging about how much money they make, how much more they can drink than you,
Yeah.
thinking they own you, thinking they're much better than you.
Yeah.
Those people are greasy. There was an article the other year, I think, where they, and it was very controversial and it blew up in China, where they talked about these greasy old men who think they're so good and such and such.
Yeah.
And that article there spurted a lot of controversy about this. And so there was actually people online started like listing things that these men do that they don't like that would consider greasy.
Yeah, 油腻.
油腻. So you can just call them.
这个大叔很油腻.
So yeah, and usually you would say, like you just said, 大叔. Yeah?
大叔.
So this would be
Uncle.
your uncle or your great uncle, your big uncle,
Yeah.
like because 大 meaning like the older one. So 大叔, 这个大叔很油腻. Okay, or 很油腻的大叔.
对.
Wonderful. So use those expressions together as a set little expression there towards these greasy old men.
Don't like.
Don't like. Okay, wonderful. And now China deals with spirits a lot, or Chinese culture has a lot of that. And that is Jing, basically.
We talked about that in 戏精.
Yeah, in Xi Jing, so it's a spirit that you carry around with you. It could mean fairy, it can be translated to fairy, but let's just call it a spirit in this case. So in the past life, if you were if you were a fox in this case.
Yeah, you are 狐狸精.
狐狸精. And that means now you were in past life you were a huli, so which means a fox. And
fox.
Now you're a fox spirit. It's there with you, and you're a fox spirit. So that means you're a foxy girl. You're
a foxy, attractive woman, but like not in a good way. It's kind of like a slut, and you attract the men you shouldn't be attracting. That kind of thing.
So these men would then, you take other women's men. So you can imagine all the other women hating you for it, and they would call you a
狐狸精.
Slut. Ooh, I just said that. Okay, wonderful. That's one expression. Now the next expression is quite the opposite of that, which is what?
母老虎.
Okay, 母老虎 is
like a female tiger.
Exactly. 老虎 is easy. 老虎 is tiger, and 母老虎 just female tiger. And so this just means you can imagine tiger being strong.
Yeah. Tiger woman.
Tiger woman. So no one messes with a tiger woman.
Yeah, but not in a good way. It's like strong, but almost too strong, too aggressive, and too controlling. And we can say someone's wife is a 母老虎.
Yeah.
He's scared of her. That kind of thing. It's a negative word to describe that.
But it makes all the sense in the world, I think. So yeah, if you meet someone, if you see someone with a weak, where the man is very weak in the relationship, you can imagine that woman right there. She is the woman tiger. 母老虎. Fantastic. Let's sum this up now. We have 4 expressions so far, particularly useful indeed. First of all, we had a sissy guy, a girly guy. What was that?
娘娘腔.
Exactly. And then we have a greasy man.
油腻.
And then we have a foxy girl who steals men.
狐狸精.
Exactly. And then the last one was a dominant lady who controls her man.
母老虎.
母老虎. Why is there a word like that for men, by the way?
Maybe people consider it more acceptable for a man to be controlling and aggressive. So we don't have a male tiger, counterpart.
Yeah, it's been like that for ages, so you never had to use a word like that. But then instead, when recent generations at least, when females have started like becoming panthers and tigers themselves, then you came up with a word for it, I assume.
Yeah. And then also like 娘娘腔, when you describe a man as girly and sissy, and it's a negative word. So yeah, it's only in negative situations.
Exactly. Very good. Use these words wisely, like always. Okay guys, in this video we're going to teach you some negative terms about people you can describe with fun, which is not fun like the English word, but it's actually fun.
Rice.
So rice, you'll notice that has to do with a lot. For instance, if you want to say I can't make rice enough for myself, I just want to make rice for myself, that means making enough to survive the day. And now you want to say
饭桶.
饭桶. Tong is a
bucket.
Bucket, yeah. So you are a 饭桶. So what does it mean then?
It means you're a rice bucket. Like all you do is eating. Like, you don't know how to do anything else. You're a useless person.
Useless person.
Yes.
So if you ever see someone sitting around just, I don't know, on the computer all day, you call them a rice bucket. It's quite funny. Yeah. I think it would be racist if we came up with it and called them rice buckets. But if Chinese people call themselves rice buckets, it's not racist anymore. So please use this. And don't feel like a racist when you do it. So 饭桶 is that. 你这个人
是个饭桶。
是一个饭桶，非常好。我的儿子就正是一个饭桶。
什么都不会。
什么都不会。你认识饭桶吗？
不认识。
不认识。
我的朋友都不是饭桶。
都不会打游戏是吧？打电子游戏。那就好了。好了。No offense intended here if anyone likes to play games. The next one and the last one, there's only 2 in this video, is what?
吃软饭.
I like this one quite a lot. So eat
soft rice.
Exactly, it's soft rice. This means
you're living off your woman, like your girlfriend or your wife like makes money and you don't. You're living. She's supporting you, so you're not a useful man.
Yeah, not a useful man. It's always men, is it?
It's always men.
It's always men, exactly. So I think we have an expression for this in English. Yeah, when in a relationship you have a woman who's a sugar mama, and then that man then, or the guy would be a sugar baby? Yeah, if you know better words, please let us know. We just teach Chinese here. Wonderful. So then you can say that, 这个人，这个男人
是个吃软饭的。
是一个吃软饭的。或者说他吃软饭的。
吃软饭。
对，非常好。Those are 2 expressions, guys, for you. We hope you enjoyed those again thoroughly. Either that you eat your rice bucket, you're useless.
饭桶.
You're useless, so useless. Or that you live off of other people, you don't achieve anything yourself, which is
吃软饭.
Please don't eat too much rice when you're in China. Okay guys, so we have 2 expressions in this video to sort of teach you how to describe people and how you can feel as well. Okay, there's an adjective thrown into that as well. We can start with a very cool one actually.
图样图森破.
Okay, so say that many times and then we can see if it sounds like something in English, because it actually is supposed to.
Too young, too simple.
Well, they say it in Chinese.
图样图森破.
Again?
图样图森破.
And now in English.
Too young, too simple.
Chinese does this all the time, especially when you have like names for celebrities. They just take that name, like Messi, for instance, I watched the other day, and you would call him
梅西.
Yeah, exactly. You just take, like we have Bill Gates, Bill Gates, yeah? And you have all of those, 哈利波特,
川普,
yeah.
Trump.
You take all of these words and you just try and make them sound Chinese. And you do this again now, but why this word?
It came from a celebrity interview, and she did something really naive, and she said, I was too young, too simple. So it became a meme, and so we just say, like, I was too young, too simple, and when we say it many, many times, and people just make it into Chinese. Too young, too simple.
Too young, too simple. Very, very funny indeed. So you can use this, you can probably understand if you're too young, too simple, basically too naive.
Too naive.
Wonderful. Now the second expression is what you feel when you feel suffocated inside here.
Yeah, you feel like blocked here in your heart.
Like stifled. Yeah. Now the expression is
心塞.
Sai is...
塞 means 塞住了, blocked.
It's blocked.
Yeah.
Exactly. So 心塞 is blocked. I think you understand the rest of this. So it means that you feel suffocated, something's terrible has happened.
Yeah, my heart feels blocked, very uncomfortable.
Can't really live anymore because it's so blocked. Okay, so let's give some examples of this then.
昨天我钱包丢了，好心塞啊。
哎呀，我能理解你这么的心塞啊。昨天他的钱包丢了，我现在也感觉非常的心塞，因为我非常empathetic 嘛。I'm so empathetic, my heart is also stifled now. Okay, those are 2 expressions for you. Too young, do you want to read it together?
Too young, too simple.
Too young and too simple. And if she loses her wallet, we can say
心塞.
Okay, guys, so we have 3 expressions for you coming up right now. And they describe people who are a bit slick, a bit deceitful.
Experienced.
Yeah, and plenty of experience to go around with. Okay, this section of the course is called weird words. And that's the best we could think of. Okay, so we start with a weird driver.
老司机.
And what does that mean? 什么意思?
Well, 老 means old or experienced or aged. 司机 is the driver. So 老司机 is the experienced driver.
Exactly.
So we use that to describe someone who is very experienced, very good at something.
Yeah, you've done this for a very long time. You have a lot of tips and tricks.
Yeah.
I did a video on this, by the way. You can probably watch it here.
你好，我电话没电了，美女可以借一下你的吗？啊，谢谢。
可以。
好。
So yeah, I didn't know her phone number, so I wanted it, so I knew a trick, and that would be a 老司机 thing to do. Okay, 老司机 doesn't only work with flirting, but it also work if you're in the, I don't know, if you just know your way around
just
things.
know your thing, yeah.
Moving on to another word which is very similar, so we'll compare these two as well, which is what?
老油条.
什么意思?
Well, 老 is still same, means aged, seasoned, old. 油条 is a food, actually. It's like a oil stick, we call it. Like you put a stick of, flour and you deep fry it. And that's like a 油条. 老油条 means someone is not only experienced, but also like knows the shortcuts, knows where to cut corners. Like, for example, if you work for a company for a really long time, for 10 years, you will know where the shortcuts are, you know where to cut corners, you know when the boss is not watching, and you sort of, do things your own way. So it's not positive, it's a bit negative.
That could be used. So we have then, very good then. Then we have 老司机, which is just a guy who knows tricks, and then we have 老油条, which is a guy who also knows tricks, but it's a bit more negative in this case. Yeah. It's definitely negative.
Yeah.
He's a bit, maybe he knows the tricks, so he's lazy instead.
Yeah, or he's like, dirty tricks, I don't know.
Yeah, dirty tricks. So those are the 2 differences, and those are also 2 very useful words. 老司机 and 老油条. They both have 老 in them, so yeah, it sort of makes sense that they're both experienced. Now, if we move on, earlier on we have 小鲜肉.
Yes.
Which is like, me.
小鲜肉.
谢谢啊. It's like a fit guy who's really fit and young and
attractive.
And attractive. Some people very much. The opposite of that would be then 老 something.
老腊肉.
What is the 老? Yeah, what's the 腊肉?
Yeah, 腊肉 is like marinated and dried meat. So people use that to like treat meat, so we can keep the meat for longer. So it's a food. When we say 老腊肉, we would use that to describe like an older guy and unattractive, as opposed to 小鲜肉. It's the other, like the opposite of 小鲜肉.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Excellent explanation. So now we have another 老, and that's just, it's someone you don't really want to date with. Maybe you are with a 老腊肉. And then you found this 小鲜肉 and you go, oh, wonderful. Now I'm
花心.
花心. My heart is full of flowers. Wonderful. So those are 3 expressions, all starting with 老. And also we put in 小鲜肉 if you haven't heard that one before as well. So yeah, it's either you're an old driver, meaning you're experienced.
老司机.
Exactly. You can also like, if someone does something really nice or experienced in it, or like, oh, I couldn't think of it like that. You must be very experienced. Then you can just say, oh.
你是老司机啊?
你是老司机啊? You go, yes, thank you very much. And then the next one was 老油条, which is the same. which is the same but just a bit more negative. And then we have 老腊肉 as opposed to 小鲜肉.
小鲜肉.
非常好. Okay, enjoy those expressions and let us know if you feel like you're any of these things or if you feel like you know anyone who are any of these things. Give us a sentence as well in Chinese if you can. So yeah, these expressions are very extreme. We apologize for that. Hopefully you don't mind Chinese still. Yeah, it's just the way things are. It's much easier to come up with extreme words and make them into slang than just ordinary words because they're not that fun to work with. Yeah. Okay, this video will teach you 货 and a lot of things we can do with 货. First of all, it means goods.
Goods.
So whenever you order some 快递,
Yeah.
You will talk about the 货.
Products.
货到了没有?
Yeah,
我的货还没到啊，送货呀。这个货要多少钱啊? Okay, wonderful. So 货 means that. However, in addition to goods, 货 could also mean
Like drugs or a person.
Yeah, so two things. Drugs, just on its own, drugs. But what we're moving on to now in this video is people, okay? Yeah. So a person who does something. Now earlier we've gone through
Yeah.
And that is silly, stupid.
Yeah, silly, stupid. Yeah, funny.
And so now in this case it's 二货.
二货.
Yeah, and what is that?
It's like a silly person.
Yeah.
Silly, stupid person. 你这个二货.
你这个二货. So now we're taking the taking that from an adjective, making it into a noun, into a person who is a 二货. So you're simply a product or produce of simpleness and stupidity. 二货, 你这个二货. Fantastic. Now if you eat a lot, what would that be?
吃货. Very, very useful.
If you have someone who likes to eat a lot, you can just call them a foodie.
Yeah, someone who loves eating.
Yeah. A food junkie. Yeah, you would call them a what?
吃货.
吃货. So it's eating produce basically, or eating person. So that's actually it in this video. We have, first of all, we can sum that up again. We have 货, drugs or people, and you can use 货 with particularly two words. 二货.
二货 or 吃货.
Wonderful. 你认识吃货吗？
我自己就是啊。
你自己就是。那你能吃多少呢？
很多。
很多，我就给你多少，你就吃多少。好的，非常好。好的，二货，吃货 please enjoy. Okay guys, so now in this video we're going to go through different things you can call people by. And it starts very easy with a rookie or a beginner of something. What is that?
菜鸟. Well, 菜 means vegetable, and 鸟 means bird. But put together, it means someone like inexperienced, a beginner.
Yeah, 菜鸟.
Newbie.
I don't know why. We can start with 菜, and that actually means something else than just vegetables.
Yeah, it means unskilled or inexperienced, you know.
So you can say like you play basketball and you're very bad at it. How would you say that?
我篮球打得很菜.
对，很菜，非常的菜。你这个事情做得很菜，非常的菜。
对。
Now, using that 菜 on its own, it's slang, but we can put it together with a 鸟.
菜鸟.
菜鸟.
菜鸟. Yeah, a newbie.
Yeah.
Beginner.
I don't know why. Do you know why it's a bird?
I think maybe because a bird is like tiny, so you know when you're not good at something, you feel tiny and weak.
Tiny, yeah, and worthless. Yeah.
你不牛，你不是一个牛，你是一个小小鸟。
Yeah, so 牛 is a cow, and that's the greatest thing you can ever be. And 鸟 is tiny. That makes sense, yeah. 菜鸟, there we go. A rookie or a beginner. Okay, can you put in a sentence?
我不会剪视频，我是一个菜鸟。
我是一个菜鸟，我是一个菜鸟。You just say 我是一个菜鸟就可以。And the next word now is 同志, which means
like gay person or homosexual person.
Exactly. So if you know the proper term for it, or not the proper one, but the one we've been throwing around all the time, it's
同性恋.
Exactly, 同性恋. And that means gay or homosexual.
Yeah, same sex. But 10, 20 years ago, it's not a good term. To be gay or homosexual, so we came up with a new word to be slightly more respectful to call this group of people, which is 同志.
同志. And this 同志 actually comes from the word, and it still means comrade.
Comrades.
Yeah. So you can just call that to anyone here who's a comrade at war or in the state or in the government or wherever there. It's a comrade, a 同志. But then you've made that into
gay we develop another meaning. Yeah.
It's quite nice. Okay, so start saying that one instead, because 同性恋 is almost like saying the word gay as opposed to 同志, which would be saying like
homosexual.
Exactly. So you have that sort of difference there. So if you feel offended when someone says gay instead of homosexual, then you might want to consider saying 同志, because it has a bit more nuance to it. Fantastic. Now moving on to a third word, which is also the last word in this video. It's what?
夜猫子.
夜猫子. 你是一个夜猫子吗？
不是。
其实我才是我真是一个夜猫子。对，夜猫子的意思是你通宵，就是你不睡觉。
A night person, because 夜 is night and 猫 is a cat. So usually cats are more active at night. So if you are 夜猫子, you are like a cat. So you are like a night person. You're more active at night than in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Very correct. And that's at the end just to make sure that we get that this is a thing or a person. Okay? 夜猫子. And 你是一个夜猫子吗? Wonderful. This is the equivalent of night owl in English. Okay, so in Chinese it sort of makes sense because both owls and cats are
like night animals.
Yeah, night animals that work during the night. Excellent. Hello there, Felix and Steffi here. And in this video, we're going to go through how to
address a foreigner.
Exactly. So whatever you called, that's what we'll find out in this video. We'll go through, first of all, we'll start with 外国人. If you don't know that already, that's the most standard thing. It just means...
Yes, means like a foreigner.
Yeah. Literally then, 外 outside, 国 country person. 外国人.
Yes.
Quite funny.
A person from another country.
Yeah. And if you're from China or from another country, you just replace that 外 with whichever country you're from.
Yeah, 法国人,
法国人,
美国人,
or 中国人, this one. Wonderful. So that is 外国人. And first of all, that's not slang, but we come up with a slang term for this 外国人 already.
Yes, it's 外国人.
外国人. So you might tell that it's, I'll say the first one, 外国人, and you say
外国人.
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 It's a tiny bit of difference. It's okay if you can't tell if you haven't studied Chinese for too long. Now, I've said this is correct, but yours is also sort of correct, yeah?
It's just a nickname because it's the same pronunciation, different tones, and it's cute.
Yeah,
I
use
that
cute.
on the internet sometimes.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Chinese is like, that's what's cool about the language as well, because there's so many characters that sound exactly the same.
Yes.
Or sometimes the tones change a little bit, so that you can just replace them with different things and choose another character. In this case, what does it literally mean? It would be a
skewed
fruit
nut.
Fruit nut. Yeah, a skew fruit nut. Yeah. It's quite weird. Yeah, anyways, that's 外国人. And you can write it in either way. And they're all fine. Okay. Now, the next one is very common as well.
The most common one.
Probably even more common than 外国人.
Yeah.
It's just...
老外.
老外.
Yeah.
So, 老, old person, and then 外.
Yeah, foreigner. Outside. 老
also refers to like someone old, as in he's not young and inexperienced, he's old and we respect him.
Yes.
It's also sort of like respectful, yeah? Wonderful. So we know 老外, and now we gradually move on to more and more difficult words. The next one would be what?
鬼佬.
鬼佬. Again, now the 老 is there, we know that one, but what's the 鬼?
鬼 is a ghost.
Yeah, a 鬼佬, why?
It came from Cantonese. They call foreigners 鬼佬, because they look different from us, I guess.
So they look like ghosts.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, we also use that sometimes, like 鬼佬.
Yeah, but that's usually for men.
For a guy,
Yeah. So for women, we would say
鬼妹.
鬼妹. Mei is just sister.
Younger sister.
Younger sister.
Yes.
It's quite weird because so if you're an old foreign woman, what would you call that?
老鬼妹.
老鬼妹, maybe. It's all weird. Anyways, that's not a very common term. Let's go with 鬼佬 and 鬼妹. Wonderful. That's very good. Now, the next one and the last one is actually what?
洋妞.
So we've gone through, if you've taken our course before, if you've seen some of my videos, 妞 means a babe, a chick.
Yeah, like a young chick.
Yeah. So you can say 妞 or 小妞.
小妞.
Use that on its own if you'd like to. Otherwise, what we also do is we add young in the beginning, which comes from the ocean, yeah?
Yeah, young also means foreign.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it's funny then, because in the word haiyang, that means ocean. From that word, you have yang, which means ocean, so it means anything that comes from the ocean. It's not domestic, basically. It's not from our own country. So you say yang, and then you say...
洋妞.
So that's how you can address me if I was a female. Now, the last term is also just a foreign person, which would be...
洋人.
Good. So now you understand what yang means, and you just add a ren at the end.
Yes.
And those are all the different terms that we consider useful and very common and necessary even. So learn these and you'll know plenty more than any other 老外 or 外国人 or 洋人. Yeah. Fantastic. We hope you enjoyed that video. We certainly did making it. Okay guys, we're reaching the end of our slang course. It's been wonderful to have you, but we wanted to save a little bit for last. And this is one of my favorite parts as well, because it's not just words that you learn, but it's also words that are common and they're culturally related as well. And we're actually also able to tell you a little bit and share with you a little bit of culture along with this as well, a bit of history as well. So let's start with the word 二代, I think.
二代.
Do you want to take it from here, please?
Well, it means second generation. So in China, we don't have a long history. The new China, maybe like 70 years. So basically, the first generation was like in the early stage of this country, and some of them became rich and some of them became government officials, and their kids are called the second generation 二代. For example, if you have a friend who's a 富二代, 富 means rich, that means his parents, the first generation, are rich and he's, their second generation. So 富二代. We also have a type of people that we refer to as 官二代. 官 means government officials, so they're very powerful, very resourceful, and their kids will be 官二代.
Wonderful. So yeah, that's a lot of information to digest there. But yeah, basically it's interesting because if you ask Chinese people how old China is, they usually say it's 5,000 years old and they're really proud of it. But then you also have this new expression, which is 二代, which is the second generation. So you mean one generation was 2,500 years old and the next generation was another 2,500 years old. No, it's instead sort of the new China, we can call it, which started 1950. 1949, exactly,
yes.
yeah. With what?
With the, People's Republic of China.
Yeah.
Communist Party.
Through Mao Zedong then.
Mao Zedong.
Exactly. So that was for 1949. And from that point and on, we've started finding a lot of new expressions that are culture related as well. And so yeah, that was a bit of history for you and a bit of 二代 and what it means. 富二代, just to repeat here, to reiterate a little bit, 富二代 means you are rich, or your parents are rich.
Yes, you're second generation of a rich family.
Exactly. And then 官二代 is?
A second generation of like a government official family.
Exactly. And you might be very rich actually. You'll notice that China, along with a lot of other countries as well, the government here controls a lot of resources, so it's excellent to work for the government. It's like the best job you can have. It gives you a lot of pension, a lot of security. So much more so than in like Sweden, for instance. It's very, very privileged to work. You're very lucky if you get to work in the government. And that's why we have these expressions as well. And so we have 富二代, we have 官二代, but we also have a third expression, which is...
It's very interesting. It's called 拆二代.
拆二代. Chai means to like dismantle something.
拆迁, which means dismantle your housing, your property, because the government might need this land for other purpose. So they will need to, remove your housing, whatever it is, house, apartment, and they will compensate you for that.
So, and you get compensated generously, yeah?
Yeah, generously.
You get, like, they would buy you a new house, or not even one, but a few.
Yeah, sometimes a few apartments.
Yeah. So I've noticed that Chinese people are like, they really hope that the government will come through and come up to you to your front porch one day and say, sorry, we need this place. And then you'll say, oh, please. They walk out and they go, yes, they're building a railway straight through my house, and it makes me so happy.
Yes.
It's funny because that happens in the US as well.
Yeah.
And everyone's so annoyed about this because obviously you don't get compensated. But in China, everyone really wants this to happen. It's quite funny. Yeah. And what happens? So people get rich because of fortune.
Because of luck.
Because of luck.
Doing nothing.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, they just walk up, knock on your porch, knock on your front door, and then you get lucky and you get rich.
And this is like 拆迁. And if you are a kid from this family, second generation of this family, you're a 拆二代, and you're very lucky to be 拆二代.
That's funny. It's like the most lucky way, except for maybe winning the lottery, to get rich by. So in this video here, we'll cover 4 different terms that you'll find particularly useful. You probably have seen or know or even are one of these people. So let's start with 代购. What is this?
Well, 代购 means buying something on behalf of other people.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of Chinese people living overseas. They will buy things overseas and send it back to China on behalf of their clients because these things are either cheaper in overseas, or they're simply unavailable in China. So this is a very, very big community in overseas Chinese people. Chances are one of your Chinese friends that you know are doing 代购sometimes.
Yeah. It's very, very common, and people do it as a full-time job. Just sit there answering the phone and then ship things from the country they're in.
And making profit.
And make a lot of profit from it. I've been asked so many times, Felix, do you have this fish? Do you have, especially it's fish in Sweden here, or do you have this thing? Do you have this thing? I want to to buy it. Can you help me with that?
You're a 代购 then.
They want me to become a 代购. So yeah, and that's a very profitable job as well. Very common. And that's hence why it's very common as well. Now the next term is yellow cow.
黄牛. Yeah, it's similar to 代购, but it's more like buying something and reselling it for a profit. Buying something very, very popular and very, very scarce and reselling it for a profit. For example, when the new iPhone is released, the 黄牛will go and buy hundreds of them and sell them. Or like a new, popular sneaker or Supreme product is released, the 黄牛 will go there and buy a lot of them and sell them. And also, if you go to a concert or a sports event or any kind of this kind of big events in China, it's very likely you will meet a lot of people outside of the stadium trying to sell you tickets, and these are called 黄牛.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need their help.
Sometimes, yeah, definitely. You can also, it's good because the 黄牛, they don't decide the trends, but they follow the trends. So if you don't know what to wear, what to buy, but if you want to be aware, then you just follow a 黄牛and
They
you're
always
good to go.
know what's the most popular.
Yeah, so just buy whatever they're selling, even though it might be a bit expensive, because they want their own value as well there, their own worth. But yeah, buy whatever they're selling and you'll be trendy at least.
Yes.
Why 黄牛, by the way?
I have no idea.
Me neither. Let's stick to that. Now we have another one, which is what?
二房东.
And this is particularly useful now if you're a foreigner, because this will most likely happen to you. So it's good that you're aware of it if you live here in China.
Yeah, because 二 means two or second. 房东 means the landlord. Why is it called the second landlord or landlord number two? Is because they rent the property from the original landlord and they sublet it or rent it to you. Sometimes, most of the time, making a profit. Or sometimes they would decorate or renovate the apartment and then rent it to someone else and make a profit.
Yeah. So that happens quite a lot, and especially if you're a foreigner now, because it might be difficult for you to get a contract on an apartment. So instead, someone would sublet it to you, and you called them a
二房东.
Very good. So if you're renting an apartment now, you're very likely to have an 二房东. It's good that you know about this term. You might want to know about the legalities about it as well. But that's boring, so we won't talk about that in this video.
Yeah.
Also, we don't know much about it, or I mean, at least not me. Now the last one is what?
Is 房奴. Is 房 means housing or property. Nu is slave. So it's pretty straightforward. You become a slave of your property. It's like a lot of people, they buy a property with a mortgage and they have to pay mortgage for the next 30 years. So, they become a slave of the property and the mortgage. So 房奴.
Exactly. A property slave. It's quite literal, that one. So then, wonderful. We have 4 expressions there that sort of have to do with property or trends or things you can buy. Business, I guess, yeah. So we started with a person who buys things for you.
代购.
And then we also have a person who follows trends and buys everything and then sells it to you.
黄牛.
And then we also have a second tenant, or like a second landlord.
二房东.
Exactly. And then the last one would be a house slave, someone with a lot of mortgage.
房奴.
Excellent. Did you find these words useful? We tried to pick up the most useful words that we can ever think of and find and share those with you. We hope we managed to nail it.
You will impress people.
Yeah, definitely. If you know these words, you'll definitely impress people. Not just by knowing advanced words, but also a bit of Chinese culture behind it as well. Because it's impossible not to learn culture if you know these words. Fantastic. Okay, guys. So we're into this segment of the course called
relationship related?
Yeah. So these are all culturally related, and now it's relationship as well. So we'll start with something that, if you're single, you'd be what?
单身狗.
So you can just say 单身, yeah?
You could just say 单身.
单身.
But 单身狗 is kind of a way of make fun of yourself. It's not usually.
We've seen the word go before actually already. We've used it many times throughout this course, but now, again, instead of just saying 单身, just like you said, you make fun of yourself, ridicule yourself a little bit, call yourself a 单身狗. It's quite cute actually. I walked around with this sign the other day. We did a video, and I don't think never anything happened with it because it was so awkward. But the idea was, you can see it here.
哎，你们两个单身吗？看起来不是啊。下次啊。
Yeah, it didn't go very well that day, and hence the video was never published either. Okay, so that's 单身狗, and now we can move on to
宅女 or 宅男 means 宅 means house or home. 女男 means male or female, boy or girl. Basically means these are the type of boys or girls who likes to stay at home a lot because it's so comfortable at home and they don't want to go out.
Exactly. So you can always, if someone just doesn't want to go out with you one night, you can just say, 哎呦，你这个宅女宅男。
对。
Or 宅女宅男 if you're in a relationship and you never leave the house really. That's because you have become 宅女 or 宅男.
Yeah, if you're single and you are 宅女 or 宅男, chances are you will stay single for a very long time.
That's also, unfortunately, because you won't find much new in your house or many new partners in your house. So now talking about partners, we want to move on and go through a little bit about marriage. There's two terms in particular here. One that is 催婚.
Yeah, 催婚 means 催 means rush someone into something. 婚 means marriage. So if you stay single for too long, people around you start to get worried and they will start to say, oh, maybe you should find a boyfriend or girlfriend soon and you should get married soon. You know?
Very common in China, unfortunately. So 催婚 is quite common here. Have you experienced it?
Yeah, of course.
Like yourself personally?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Everyone.
It was a scary answer. Yes, of course. And everyone else as well, yeah?
Pretty much.
How does it happen? How do you feel to 催婚?
For example, if you go home and during Chinese New Year and you will meet a lot of your family members and people will start asking, oh, have you found someone this year? And if not, and they will start to say, oh, maybe you should, hurry up next year.
And they would even go as far as actually trying to find you a partner.
Set you up with someone.
Exactly. So that's 催婚. And then we have another expression, which is when you take photos with your camera, what is the flash called?
闪光灯.
闪光灯. And from the flash, it's just basically 闪.
闪.
So we can say 闪婚 now as well. Flash.
Marriage.
Exactly. Flash marriage then being exactly what it is.
Yes. You meet someone and you get married after a very short time, like for example 1 month or 3 months, and you get married so quickly.
But that's usually what you see in movies when people are in love and they're like, oh, I love you so much, yeah?
Yeah.
Or would you call a 催婚could that end up as a 闪婚 as well?
Yeah, it could.
It could, yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have to do with anything positive. It could also be something that you're forced upon by your parents and now you just have to get married in 2 weeks after just meeting the person. Oh, no. Okay, so those are two terms for you. We have single and we have
宅男宅女.
Yeah, and 单身狗, by the way, was single. And then the last two ones had to do with marriage. 催婚 and
闪婚.
Excellent. By the way, if you don't know the word 催 yet, it's good to know. But also, if you know the word 推, which you'll see on all the doors, is 推. It sounds almost the same. It almost looks exactly the same as 催 as well. So that's a good one to make you remember that one, maybe. Those are 4 words. We hope you find them useful. We hope you don't get 催婚 too much. And even though you might be 宅女 and therefore 单身狗, but you will not be single for long, and maybe you will even be happy through a 闪婚.
Romantic.
Very romantic. We're almost done with this entire course now. We only have 2 expressions left. We didn't find anywhere else to put them, so we just dragged onto them until the very bottom and the end of this course. It doesn't make them less worthy though. The first one is culturally interesting and important, I think. What is it?
愤青.
愤青. So 愤 could be like from 愤怒.
Yes, it's actually a short form for 愤怒的青年.
Yeah, which is annoyed teenagers.
Yeah, 愤怒 is like angry. 青年 is youth, young people.
And if you think of it, it's quite interesting. Like you had the umbrella demonstration in Hong Kong. What was that? Probably 5 years ago at this point. Many years ago. And you have a lot of, that we can't talk about here because we're in China, a lot of revolutions and demonstrations. And demonstrations are illegal here in China now, by the way, if you didn't know that. Most of these are actually like galvanized by young people, like students. That's why some of them are even called the student revolution and so on. So it's quite interesting. It's like, I've started thinking of this, like, it's when you're young, you have so much ideals, and you have so much moral, and you believe in so much. But then the older you get, and many of Chinese people have actually told me about this as well, the older you get, the more you just realize that this is never going to happen. So the more you just start thinking, okay, I'll just make sure I provide for myself. and then I'm happy and I won't care for anything else. And you won't be a part of any revolutions, I imagine, then. So therefore we have this expression again.
愤青.
愤青. Perfect. Quite interesting, I'd say. Now the second expression is also 分, but in this case it's what?
粉丝.
粉丝. So different tone, third tone. 粉丝. And this word comes from...
It literally means rice noodle,
Yeah.
but because it sounds like the English word fans,
Yeah.
which means, fans or followers. So
Yeah.
now it means, the fans or followers of a celebrity or an influencer.
So you can see, I have Weibo here, for instance. You can see it here. I just started a few months ago, and here you can see the number, and underneath you can see 粉丝,
对.
and that means my fans.
李飞有很多粉丝啊.
Not 不是很多，
肯定很多。
我有爸爸妈妈一两个朋友就可以了，4个粉丝。Okay, excellent. So yeah, 粉丝 is another word, and it means fans. And it's quite funny then. What were you using before? Before you
rice
had English?
noodle.
No, what were you using? This is quite interesting then. What were you using in China before you had the word 粉丝? Before you had the English word?
Wow.
不知道. Me neither.
That was before me.
Before you, yeah, you don't care for that, or you don't need to be responsible. You have like a 球迷.
对，
like
歌迷、影迷.
Yeah, so you would just say me instead. That's a follower, someone who follows something.
对.
But it's not at all as common as 粉丝.
But if you are like an internet influencer, like what would you, it's 歌迷、影迷will be irrelevant.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
So I guess 粉丝 is quite
粉丝 is like more
word.
generic for any kind of influencers or famous people.
Exactly. Okay, so you can say 粉丝, and you can also say 愤青. Fantastic. Those are 2 words for you that are quite common, and especially in today's life. Let us know if you find them useful. Also, that's the end of the course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. And thank you, camera too. Doing an excellent job there on the side. We hope you enjoyed that course. Yeah, so through a lot of research and a lot of asking Chinese people and reading online and all of that, we have come up with these terms for you. Hopefully you'll know any other slang ever again. If you ever do that, please let us know, and maybe we'll just cram it into this course as well, because we want this course to have everything. Fantastic. And again, thank you for appearing. Excellent
My
to
pleasure.
have you here. Definitely a lot of things that before we went through this course, that I didn't know about, or I didn't know so much about it, at least. So yeah, I definitely think this will be useful for you, because it was useful for me even. Fantastic. Thank you again, and thank you.
Bye.
Hello there. This part of the course is the penis part of the course, and that's why I'm alone as well, because there's no one who wanted to join me on this one. Okay, so we're going to go through, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little expressions, and they're all used to say the same word, penis. Fantastic. Okay, so it starts quite easily, and then we'll have a scale, and it'll scale up and become more and more gross, and that's what we'll be using on the porn sites, and if you really want to offend someone or anything like that. Excellent, let's get started. So first of all, we have a few terms that we can use for kids, as in your mom and dad don't really want to say that word, so they'll instead just say little chicken or little brother, actually, and that is 小弟弟, 小弟弟, or 小鸡鸡, 小鸡鸡, okay? You can also just say 鸡鸡 or 弟弟, not with the 小, but the 小 is a little bit more common, I'd say. Okay, so then actually note here as well that 鸡鸡 could also mean chicken, or Didi could also just mean your younger brother. So if you point at someone and say, that's my younger brother, beware that you're actually just pointing at a person. Otherwise that person you're talking to might think, yeah, I think you get it. Anyways, 小鸡鸡 and 小弟弟. Excellent. And now we have a few more eloquent terms. We can, for instance, say 下面, 下面, and that just means you're downstairs. 下面, and that's quite nice. And after this video, we'll go through a little bit about female genitalia, but that's not as interesting, unfortunately, because there's just simply not as many words to discover there. So, however, one of those words that we'll discover is 下面, and that works for both men and female, because yeah, it's just downstairs. It is not referring to anything else. So 下面 is quite nice, actually. Then the other one would be 命根子. 命根子. 命 means your life. You can say 生命, that means life. And then we have 根子, and 根子 is just a root. Okay, so we've got a root that holds on to your life. Yeah, that's your, again, penis. 名根子, that's quite nice actually. You'll see it in literature a little bit actually. You can say it as well, and I think it's quite innovative. So please go with that one if you don't want to offend anyone. Now, I was just talking about literature, and one that you'll see a lot in literature is just 那画, 那画. So it's na, that, and it's speech, 那画. And that just literally, yeah, so that talk basically, the one who does the talking. It got very awkward there, very fast. Yeah, 那画, the one that does the talk, that talk basically, 那画. But you'll see it again a lot in literature. So please enjoy. And now we have another one which is quite cute, so you can use it without being afraid of offending anyone. It's simply 老二. Okay, so it's you are old, 老, and then it's the second one who's following you all the time, 老二. It's this guy again. Okay. Okay, 老二, 老二. Okay, that means penis. Quite funny. Okay, now I need you to be aware here, because this is definitely why I'm alone here, because we are moving on to awkward territory. The next one is 鸡巴, 鸡巴. It actually means cock. Okay, as in a chicken or a rooster or a cock, okay? And it's interesting here because in English you can call a chicken, rooster, or that, the next one would be a cock. You can call that, cock can mean two things. It can mean that and, well, this other cock thing. But I don't know if C-O-C-K is a censor-worthy word. We'll see, I don't know. Okay, anyways, so we have 鸡巴, and so it means literally then cock then, because the 鸡, we used it before when we said 小鸡鸡, which is quite cute, but in this case, it's quite messy and dirty actually, but it is very common, however. So 鸡巴, please start using that if you want to be a bit dirty but still common. Now we're moving on to 卵. 卵 is actually something that I'm in Shanghai now, and it's something that we use a lot here. So it's 卵, again, penis. But it's actually from Shanghainese, so other people know about it, but they don't say it as much. But here in Shanghai, they'll say 卵 all the time, 卵. You can also use 卵 later on. We'll do that as well, to say like, fucking, what's the damn use of this or this or that or this, or what is the damn thing you're talking about? So in order to just sort of emphasize your point and make it come across, you can put a little 卵 in places as well, but we'll talk more about that later. Please remember to watch that video as well. And now we're sort of at the end of the scale, and in this case it's 屌, 屌. And 屌 can mean many things, but in this case it's just going to mean, yeah, that one again, 屌. Excellent. Okay, so 屌 is again, it's quite messy and it's sort of at the end of the scale here because it's dirty, but it is also very common. Okay, and now we're moving on to the last word of this excellent video and very informative one. We have 肉棒, and this is actually one of my favorites, even though it's the end of the scale, because this is what you'll see at like porn sites, or if you go into sex shops, you'll see this written everywhere. 肉棒, and it's quite funny because 肉 means meat and bang just means a stick or like a baseball bat, that bat that we're talking about, that's bang. Baseball, by the way, is 棒球. So if you take away the 球 from baseball and then you add a 肉 in the beginning, then it gets to become a penis instead. So 肉棒 means, again, a meat stick, and I think you can figure out the rest. Fantastic, isn't it? I think those are 10 terms for you. And I'm sure that even though you knew some ways to say penis in Chinese before, we've definitely taught you a few new ones now. And let us know which one you preferred and which one you've been using so far, if any. And yeah, that's it. And also, like always, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. That will be a wise choice, yes. Yes, indeed. Excellent. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Next video, again, now we'll be discussing the female genitalia as well. Oh, how very interesting. It's going to be much shorter, though, because, yeah, it's not that much to discover, simply. Hello guys and welcome back. Felix here, and we're back for another episode. Not male genitalia, but that because that was covered in the last video. Instead now it is female genitalia. Exciting stuff, isn't it? It's only going to be 3 terms for it, really. I've asked around a lot and I've asked my brain a lot and I've researched a lot, and we can only really come up with these 3. So first of all, just like the equivalent of 小弟弟, as in little brother, now you can actually say little sister, and that would be 妹妹 or 小妹妹, and that's actually a very good term for it. Again, that is also the one mums and dads will be using, 小妹妹, 小妹妹, as in to their kids whenever they want to talk about that downstairs thing. Talking about downstairs, we can also say 下面, and if you followed our previous video, you know that from before already. 下面works for both girls and for boys. Exciting stuff, isn't it? Now there's those 2, and those 2 are very common, and there's just simply a third variation of it, which basically translates to the word hopefully we censored that one, and that one is just yeah, I don't have to say much more about it. It'll be used later on for swear words and so on, which you can probably imagine, just like it does in English as well. However, if you just want to call it something else and more dirty, you can call it that as well. There we go. Those were 3 terms of how you can talk about female genitalia. Again, enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. And don't think I've forgotten about you, camera 2. Bye to you too. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to cover one word, but with 3 different meanings. Very interesting indeed. It's going to have 3 vastly different meanings as well, so it's important that we go through it and give you some examples as well. Here we go. Diao means penis, and that's the first meaning. If you watched a video from us before, then you know that diao means penis, and that's it with it. But, however, if you move on to the second meaning, it would be diao si, and that means penis, but then si actually means shredded. You can have 土豆丝 as in shredded potato, but yeah, don't think too much about it simply. It's something that we add at the end of things, and it doesn't have to do with shredding anyone or any things or any sticks or anything like that. Anyways, it's simply something that we put at the end. For instance, fans in Chinese is the word 粉丝, and now it's the word 屌丝, so it's just something that we add at the end. Don't think too much about it. Okay, so 屌丝 means a loser, so it can be a loser who doesn't have any friends. You can say, oh, this guy is such a loser. You can also use it in sort of a funny context, but you need to be aware of that then. Maybe just use it towards yourself and say, oh, I'm such a loser, I do such and such. In that case, you can use 屌丝 as sort of ridiculing yourself. I think that's quite funny. However, if you use it towards other people, beware because they might get offended. Anyways, that was 屌丝, and that means loser. So now so far we have penis, we have loser, and the last one is actually awesome and cool, and that is 屌, and they say 爆了. 爆 actually means to explode, or like a bomb. 爆, it sounds like a bomb, doesn't it? So 屌爆了 means the penis. Yeah, actually, let's not go there. So what we have is 屌爆了. Just the expression as such means so cool. Okay, so for instance, I've watched basketball, for instance, if you do the same, you might have seen, for instance, James Harden last night. He played a terrific game. And instead of saying terrific, in Chinese now we can say, oh, 昨天你看到哈登打球打得太屌爆了，太屌爆了，真的. There we go. That's how we can use it. 屌爆了. So now we've learned one tiny little word, but 3 different expressions using that tiny little word already. Penis, loser, and awesome. It's quite funny that we can get these 3 vastly different words from just one tiny little penis. That's it, we can cut now. Bippy, bippy. Hello guys, my name is Felix and you're welcome back if you watched the video before. Now it's me unaccompanied, unfortunately, because these words are a bit too awkward to have any Chinese person want to sit next to me with. So instead it's just us, and that's the way it is, and let's go. So this is the first video of the segment of swear words / 18 plus words, okay? So make sure you sign that little closure before we get started here. And now we can get started. Fantastic. Now it's basically just terms that older people, 18 plus people should know about. So let's go through them then. We first can start with 3P, and that's quite funny actually. The Chinese language, or Chinese people maybe I should say, love to use English words or just letters sometimes. For Photoshop, they just say PS, PS, and then they put Chinese characters in front and afterwards, but they still say PS just with those 2 letters there. Similar to that, they would say 3P. So san means 3, and P means people or person. But then we cut out everything else and just keep the P. So 3P. So Chinese, san, and then the letter P from English. 3P actually means a threesome. It's quite funny and yeah, quite an easy word to learn actually. So use that one and you can practice your number 3 as well. That's quite easy, isn't it? Now we can say 电影 for movie, but there's another term for movie, which if you've done our course, then you might know about this. Which if you've done our course, then you should know about this one. It's 片, 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 片. It's 片, 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 片. Wonderful. Simply means movie. Now we can simply say 一片, 一片. And A, again, just like the 3P, A comes from adult. So it's just an English word and they cut off everything else and they just kept one letter in the beginning. So 一片, adult movie, simply. 一片, 一片. So you see, they've taken that word completely from English actually and just Chineseified it a little bit. Now you can also call it 黄片. 黄 just sort of means anything sort of dirty a little bit as well actually. So 黄片 is also a word for it. And the words don't stop here. 毛片 is actually another way to talk about it. 毛 mean 头发 means hair, but 毛 also sort of means hair, but it also means your fur. So yeah, it's also a term for other sort of hair as well. Let's not talk about it anymore. It's interesting here because in Chinese movies you have grading systems. You have basically level 1, and that is just ordinary movies. Level 2 would just be sort of a little bit naked but still ordinary movies like Game of Thrones. And then level 3 would simply straight up just be pornos. Okay, so that would be 三级片. So 级 level 三级片. Wonderful. Now, one of my favourite terms for it, which is very eloquent and you don't have to be ashamed of using it, would be 爱情动作片. So basically just saying love action movie. 动作 can be used to say action, but also like movement or anything that happens. So it's not just love, it's not just romance, but it's actually moving romance or romance with action. So 爱情动作片would also mean porno. See how many words they have? Now, we're not actually done with words for pornos yet. We have one left to go. We have 成人片. So 成人 just means an adult. 成 means to become, and 人 means person, so you become a person. And you can put 片 at the end of that, and that just means, yeah, a movie or a film for an adult. So yes, an adult movie. 成人片. By the way, you can walk around on the streets and there's plenty of sex stores to go around in China. They're not ashamed of that at all, which is, I think it's good. And then you will actually see outside, you'll see 成人品. And 品 means product, and 成人 is again adult. So adult products you'll see there. Guys, weren't those a lot of words for just the very same thing? It's been a long video, but I've only taught you really 3 different words in English. It's been threesome, we've had also adult products as in sex toys, but I've also just gone through a lot of different terms for yellow movies or romantic action movies or level 3 movies or whichever one you preferred from the ones you just heard from me. Let us know which ones you preferred, let us know which ones you knew from before, and let us know what else you'd like to hear us talking about in maybe our next video. If you're watching this on YouTube, like always, subscribe. My name is Felix. This is Domino Chinese. And even though you can't see it, it's yellow enough to be China. I just realised that I shouldn't say that because that's a bit racist maybe. But yeah, it's an inevitable joke if you're sitting in the yellow room and if you're in China. Feel free to come back at any time and visit our yellow room and we'll talk much more about some other interesting things about China and Chinese. My name is Felix. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hello there, Felix is my name if you didn't know it already. Now this segment of the course is all adult words, so make sure you're above 18 before you start watching this video. This video starts in 3, 2, 1. That's actually 3. So let's get started then. Now 3 words in this video, it's just words you can shout out if you want to make sure that people understand you're upset. Okay, so first of all, if you're getting upset by someone, then you can say 闭嘴, 闭嘴. 闭 means to close something, which can be used to just close something. 嘴 means your mouth. So literally close your mouth or shut the mouth, as in shut up. And it is quite rude if you use that one in Chinese. 闭嘴, 闭嘴, 闭嘴. Now another very common and cute and very acceptable term, if you use it in your daily life, would be 傻. 傻 just means silly. Oh, 你很傻. Oh, 你傻呀. Or you can even say 傻瓜, which means silly person. Okay? But if you want to say 傻, but a bit more offensive, you can add a b at the end. And if you went through our female genitalia, then you know that b means Hopefully remember to censor that one as well. It's actually quite funny because the English word you want to replace it with just a beeping sound for censoring. But this word in itself, in Chinese, is pronounced as b as a censoring sound, which is quite funny, isn't it? Okay, so then you can say sha, and you say bi, sha, bi, and that just means, yeah, I think you get it, silly, but a bit more offensive, simply. So silly, silly bitch, maybe silly, I don't know, silly cunt, silly bitch, silly, I just enjoy the censoring sound, sorry about that. Wonderful, so that's that expression. And now if you just feel like, oh no, this is not going very well, then you can say 我去. 我去, as in I go, literally. But sometimes you can actually transform the tone from 我 to 我. 我去, 我去, you can actually hear sometimes. It's quite flexible in this case. You can either say 我去 or 我去. But if you say 我去, people know that it's a swear word. It just basically means like, oh shit, damn it. But it's a bit harsher than that. If it was just like damn it, we would have put it earlier in the course with the cute swear words. But in this case, it's above 18 swear words. So yeah, 我去 is not that nice. But yeah, you know it now at least. Those were 3 terms for you. Let us know the ones you knew, the ones you didn't know, and let us know which ones you'd like to know. Thank you for watching. We'll see each other in the next video. Okay guys, this is a very informative Domino Chinese video about breasts. Okay, there's actually plenty of words to go around for breasts. I think it's just about fair, because we talked in a previous video about female and male genitalia, and the male we realized has so many more words for it. But we can compensate to that fact by just adding a lot of booby words in Chinese. So yeah, moving on to boobs. I hope you'll enjoy. Okay, so we can start off with just chest, but that's also the same word to say boobs, as in breast can be breast for anyone, male or female, as in breast in English, or chest. So it works for both female and male, and that makes it just very neutral. So we can say xiong, 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 and then we can say xiong. You can either say xiong just on its own, or we can say xiong bu. Bu just means a part of it. So whenever you want to talk about parts of the body, you'll notice that we can add a bu all the time as well. So xiong, xiong bu we can say. Either works completely fine. Xiong or xiong bu. Now we have another funny one, and that is nai. Nai comes from the word nai nai, which is actually like your grandma, but nai actually means your not your grandma's breast, but just breast in general. So nai is, yeah, again, breast, and that is quite common. It's not that dirty, it's just breast simply, nai. And now we have another one, which is ru. Ru actually means breasts as well, and it's a little bit dirtier. If you recognize this scale from, for instance, penis from before, in one of our previous videos we had like a scale where we started there and we went from here, and this was nice and light, and this was harsh and not that nice and dirty. And we're repeating that same scale in this video then. So we started here with xiong or xiongbu, and then it's nai, and now it's actually ru. Ru just means breasts. Fantastic. Now if you want to say nipple, it's actually quite funny because it's ru tou, just the head of the breast. I think that makes all the sense in the world. Ru tou. Fantastic Chinese, aren't you just delightful? So yeah, you can just say 我喜欢她的乳, I like her breasts, or 我喜欢她的乳头, nipples, yeah. Okay, anyways, moving on now. It's quite funny actually, because we can say 巨乳, because especially in like porn sites and so on, we'll see like big boobs, and then in that case, not that I've ever been on any, because they're all blocked in China. A very innocent person, don't worry about me. So it's ju, and that's the same ju from like giant. We can say ju ren means giant, or the Hulk is actually the big green person, lu ju ren. So that means the green giant, the Hulk. That's actually quite funny. Lu ju ren, fantastic. So keeping that ju means big or enormous, and then we say ju ru, and then we get huge boobs. There's actually a few more words for huge tits or huge boobs, and we'll talk more about that, and you'll learn about them in this video as well. Now this is straight up slang. We have mimi, and that means secret, but if you pronounce it like mimi, then it actually means boobs again, okay? Boobs, I should say mimi, wonderful. And so that is a little bit more dirty, and now we get into the dirtiest of the dirty, okay? It's bo. Bo just means boobs on its own. Bo, it sounds like boob, or it spells almost like boob, just B-O, and then just add another O-B, and then you're actually good. Bo just means that, wonderful. And that's actually the last word for boob that we can learn. But we can actually add a word ba, and ba just all means king, or the best of everything. Ba, so we can say bo ba, and that means, yeah, big boobs again. So far we have two words already to say huge of this thing. So it's ju ru, or it's bo ba. Fantastic. Now we've gone through a lot of different words, and it's quite funny how Chinese has thought of so many different words for the same word, boob. I guess we have a lot of words for that as well in English. Let's go through them again, and meanwhile you can choose which one you prefer, which one you think sounds the best. 胸, 胸部, 奶子, 乳, 咪咪, 波. Wonderful. That's it guys. I hope you enjoyed that video thoroughly. If you did so, tap that subscribe button. If you're on our website already, don't do that. Just simply keep watching. See you in the next video. Okay guys, this part of the course is called like 6 terms or 18 plus words. So in this video, it's just going to be straight up about sex. So the best and the most eloquent term for sex would just be 做爱, so to make love, or to do love literally. 做爱, wonderful. We can also now actually say 上, okay, 上, to get on top of someone. That's actually a term for it as well. Now we can also say 日 in the same way, but that's actually a lot harsher. Okay, so we're already moving on to the end of the scale, which is the dirtiest part of the scale, and that is 日. So 日 is actually it's very common just on a daily basis. Whenever you want to say Sunday, for instance, you have to say 日. So 星期日, you can actually say 星期天, so you don't have to say 日. Anyways, that's irrelevant. Now we have 日 then, and just like with 上, we can just say 日 or 上 and then a person, okay? And that's simply, yeah, to thank them Fantastic. Now, a funny little term, which is actually quite messy as well, is to make or to fry rice with someone, and that's 炒饭. You can imagine the action of it. You can actually see me here demonstrating it in another YouTube video I made before, where I told you about the word 炒饭.
You're in a wok pan together, you just throw yourself around and it's hot, and you've got rice everywhere as well. This is probably the most Chinese metaphor for sex that I've ever heard.
There we go. So 炒饭, literally to fry rice, but now it actually also means to make love to someone. Fantastic. So yeah, next time you might want to be a bit more innovative and ask, do you want to fry some rice together? And see if they want to fry some rice together. All of good luck with your fried rice in the future. Now it's quite funny because the literal translation of this next word is to hit da, ye as in outside or wild, ye, and then zhan, war. So to hit a war or to be in a war basically, to fight a war outside. And it doesn't have to do with war anymore, or fighting, or fights, or beating. It just simply means to have sex outside in the public. 打野战, 打野战. Now the last word that we're going to learn here is, I've just learned that there's an abbreviation for this, ONS, there we go, ONS, one night stand simply, and it's just literally the same word in Chinese here. It's yi as in one, ye as in night, and then qing, which means love or affection or feelings. 一夜情 just means one night stand. 我不喜欢一夜情，这个人经常会有一夜情. And so similar here to 日 and 上, like it's something you do to someone. It's quite a one-sided affair, it sounds like. Now you can also do 干. So 干 is more or less slang to say to do, but also then to do with someone, okay? So 干, like that. So you can just say 干 someone, a person then. Fantastic. So yeah, through intense research and asking around and living and experiencing Chinese, these are the most useful terms that we could think of for you that have to do with sex in Chinese. Hopefully you find them useful. And again, like always, thank you for watching. Hello there, Felix here from Domino Chinese. Now in this video we'll go through just different expressions with the word 干. If you know about it already, it means dry, but more in a slang term it means to do, or it can even mean to So 干 can mean a lot of things, and first of all we can just say 干我, yeah, if you want to do me. We've talked about that in another video before, where we talked about different ways to say Sorry, I love saying that because I know we'll censor it out. Okay, so 干 can be used as a verb to say to but you can also use it as a swear word to say, for instance, 干你娘, 干你娘, 干你娘. I've said it too many times now, it feels a bit awkward. Yeah, I think you get it. 干你, and then 娘 actually refers to mom, okay? So just like in English, you would say like, I don't actually want to pronounce the whole word. And we refer a lot to moms in English, and we do the same thing actually in Chinese here. So 干你娘. Yeah, that's it. No more readings for you on that one. And now talking about moms, we can actually just say tamada, tamada. And you can actually remove the doing part or the fornication part and just say tamada, tamada. Or you can say nimada, nimada. And this, again, doesn't have any third terms in it. It's just tamada or nimada. So it's the same here. Where we talk about English, we use a lot of mom terms, in Chinese, it's the same. Fantastic. Now, we can actually also, if you want to make that a little bit dirty, a little bit ruder, we can say bi at the end. Yes, which means cunt. Now we can say tamada bi, or nimada bi. So it's actually quite awkward to read tamada bi because it's only first tones all the way. Tamada bi or nimada bi. Fantastic. And those are terrible. I don't know why I'm sitting here saying these ones to you now. Okay, fantastic. Now we've gone through that. The last word actually, which is also the worst word, we learned in an earlier video, we can say 我靠, which basically means, oh, damn it, or bugger, or bummer, or something like that. But that one actually comes from the word 操. Okay, and the 操 is, ooh, it's not very good at all to say. It sounds almost dirty, there's just sound of it. Okay, so the 靠 comes from 操. So 我靠 is okay, but 我操 is just and that's really harsh. Okay, so using the 操 now, we can just use it as a standalone swear word, but we can also use it with moms or you or whatever you'd like to swear towards. Okay, so yeah, the worst one here that you'll ever come across, that I can think of at least, or through a lot of intense research that we've come up with, is 操你妈. And that's the last one. And we'll finish on that wonderful accord. Tony Ma. Okay, that is it, guys. Those are different ways to offend each other. And that was the end of this very awkward and very offensive part of the course, which is called 18 plus. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, we'll be sure to see each other again. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you're on the website, don't subscribe. Just ignore that. And we'll see each other in the next video. Bye-bye. Well, hello there, you've been fantastic. You finished this entire course, and here's just to say, you are fantastic. 太棒了, really, 太棒了. Now go out there, get some ice cream, get some 冰淇淋, get some chocolate, get some 巧克力, and maybe some cafe, because you know that word in Chinese as well. And contemplate what you've done. You've been fantastic, simply. And once you're done eating and snacking, then you come back, and then I hope you're ready for some more. Now, at that point, you can go to our links in our projects and resources, it's called. In that little section, you'll find links to different courses here, if you want more of what we have to offer. By the way, amongst those links, you'll also find one to our website, where if you click it, you can get 1 month completely for free, and then you'll get to access everything on the website. And that doesn't only stop at all the courses, but it also gives you all the features, like flashcards and more than 1,000 dialogues, so you can practice what you're learning, amongst many other things. Wonderful. I'm done talking. Again, remember, you are 太棒了, because that means awesome. And bye-bye for now.